How do you like people calling you? Just by your handle name, like YAYAYAYOUNG?
I mean, the big issue is most people. Okay, so my handle's YAYAYAYOUNG. There's 3 yas, but everyone thinks it's just YAYAYOUNG.
That's what I thought too.
God damn it! Why does everyone think that? So nowadays everyone just calls me either Yaya or just Young.
Which is easier.
Which is a lot easier. Everyone just forgets about the third one. I was thinking about taking out that third ya, but then right now all my handles are like that, so I can't really change it at this point.
I mean, you know the rule of thirds, right? That's why. Everything goes by thirds.
That does make sense, but I don't like it. It's my name, yo. I want to own up to
I'm
it.
saying do what you want.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Fuck everybody
You're right,
else.
Exactly. Fuck everyone.
Yeah, they could go to hell. They could suck my pee-pee. Welcome to the Setbreaker podcast. Today we have a special guest. We got Young.
There we go. There we
AKA
go.
Young.
Yes.
AKA the other half of my of the scrotum.
Yes.
With 2 eggs in a basket.
Exactly.
Bald heads.
Low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good, dude. You know what's funny? We were talking off camera, and then I was like, it finally hit. I was like, dude, his skin is really nice.
No, okay. So I'm gonna be so honest right now.
Okay.
I'm so thankful that you think that. But to be honest, like for the most part, my skin is not good. Right now it's pretty okay, but I do a lot of stupid shit to my face. That's like my brand kind of thing. That's what I like to do because everyone does the whole aesthetic, bougie, perfect kind of skincare routine thing and they want the best perfect skin, you know? But for me, it's like, that's already tried and true. Everyone's done that for years. So I wanted to do something different, which is like, let's see how much damage and fucked up things I can do to my face and still have it look presentable, you know? So that's why it's like on here, like for instance, on the left side of my face, there's like 2 gnarly pimples. It's because, you know, like J-Lo, she used to talk a lot about, oh yeah, I use olive oil on my face. That was like incredible. Yeah, fuck that bullshit. Okay?
It doesn't work, right?
Look how, this is the first time I had this fatty of a pimple and it's the first time it's gone this dark.
Wait. You're saying the first time in your life?
To get like a pimple this big. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
I mean, for the most
Do
part.
you know what I went through in high school? Like, it looked like a fucking world map of just acne, and then it was just like red blemish everywhere.
That's
and it
gnarly,
was just
dude.
horrible.
But let me ask you, did you do your skincare?
I cared more about my skin back then than now. I don't do shit now.
That's crazy.
I just splashed water on my face.
It does make sense. It does make sense. So definitely during like the teen years, preteen teen years, like young adult, that's when like your skin goes the most haywire because a lot of the stress, a lot of changes in your life, just so many things are constantly changing. So for the most part, most people think, oh, like I can take care of my skin and it'll be perfectly fine, but that's just not the case. So totally makes sense because as you get older, your skin and body just naturally like normalizes and equalizes. So that's why like you see a lot of older people 30s 40s 50s, they don't give a shit about their skin, but they still look fine. It's just like the younger people care a lot, but they don't realize it's more of a body thing rather than you specifically taking care of your skin to make your skin better. So it's kind of like a mind game kind of thing. Yeah,
but I got wrinkles though.
Oh, what?
When I smile and all that, I have a lot of expression wrinkles.
I mean, when I look at your videos and stuff, you're a very expressive person. So it makes sense. That's why, like, you know, one of Kim Kardashian's trick is like, don't ever fucking smile. Don't like look at everything. Like there was
don't look at what?
No, like
don't look at people.
Like literally, like don't look at anything that might shock you or give you like a surprise expression. So like
is that real?
So one of the meme things that she used to talk about, right, is like, oh, she was like, so when I laugh like this. Ha 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 ha. Like literally that's the thing. So she used to talk about how that's her secret to not having like laugh lines, frown lines, crow's feet and stuff. Just talking like a robot and talking to people like, hey, you know?
That's not living though.
Exactly. But if you look at the old, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim kind of talks like that. She always has like a pretty neutral face, doesn't really smile big or anything. So there's just a lot of techniques that go into play when you're like growing up to not have wrinkles like that. It's really complex, but at the same time, it's genetics too. I mean, if your parents have wrinkles too, then that's fine. Yeah.
But it makes sense because Kim Kardashian, when I think about it, because when you're trying to not express yourself and you talk to like, you got like paper mache on your fucking face.
Exactly.
You're gonna sound unintelligent.
Exactly.
Right?
You're gonna sound monotonous.
I mean, I just feel like
exactly.
Like, there's no way to sound smart.
You sounded exactly like her. Right
yeah.
You got big booty. I got big booty.
Is that very accurate?
It's 100% accurate.
100% right?
100% accurate.
Guys,
and
you
if
guys don't
look
even know.
That is the secret to not having wrinkles, like honestly.
Like Koreans do that.
Okay, so when it comes, oh yeah, Koreans do that. They're very, how do I say it? Like more like reserved, conservative on their express. Like no one, like if you look at a lot of the females in Korea, they don't overly laugh, go ah, or anything like that. You know, they're pretty much go hee hee, stuff like that.
They do, and then like the eyes like squint just barely.
Yeah,
like,
just exactly. See, you already know it. Yeah. So they're very careful about their expressions and how it may affect them in the future. But then again, that's like that's more like an education factor. Like they were taught that. They're like, oh, don't smile so big. Don't squint your eyes too hard. You know, just be relaxed. If you want to laugh, just laugh modestly. You know. Yeah. But that's. To me, that's not fun. That's not human. That's weird, you know?
It's very robotic. It's like every day, throughout the day, you have to put like a restriction on yourself.
Exactly. And no one, like, I can't talk to someone like that. I can't hang out with people with with that complete mindset. Like, okay, Young, like if someone says a joke, you can't laugh too loud, you know, like don't like smile too big or anything. That's like not a right way to live. It's so weird, you know? So I just like living freely. And at the end of the day, everyone's gonna have wrinkles. Doesn't matter what you think you're gonna do, you're gonna have wrinkles anyway. So just live life normally. Laugh how you want to laugh, smile how you want to smile. Just live, you know? But I will admit, when it comes to Kim Kardashian and a lot of like people in Asia, you know, cosmetic procedures are a huge factor of why their skin is like that also. So, you know, like those small things are things that we can control, like the smiling and over excessive like laughing. But for the most part, I'd say like more than 50% is going to be the Korean procedures. And the other 50% is like their genetics. So it's kind of like, you just kind of have to have a good balance of both things. It's very difficult.
Are you telling me to get plastic surgery? Is that what you're saying?
Not plastic surgery. So I mean, it depends on what your definition is of plastic surgery. Like for instance, like some people consider Botox plastic surgery, but it's not really plastic surgery. It's just like I consider a cosmetic procedure. You're not really like cutting into anything or like changing something significantly.
Oh, like your nose structure.
Exactly, like yeah. So I just, you know, something like Botox really helps with wrinkles, which is like 2 years ago, I started to see like the forehead lines. And then right when I saw it, I got Botox. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go get Botox right now. It's because once the wrinkles start forming, they keep getting deeper and deeper. It's like skin, collagen, muscle memory. It just keeps getting deeper. So that's why I just got Botox right away. Because it's like the first thing you can do to prevent something like that from happening.
Oh, so you took a preemptive strike.
You have to. Skincare is 100% all preemptive prevention. It's not, a lot of people think it's solution. It's only solution based if it got to a certain point. That's when you go to a dermatologist. But you never want to get to that point. That's why you do maintenance skincare at home. Oh, so you don't have to get to that level. So you don't have to spend that much money. So even though a lot of people's skin, it's like fantastic. They're like, oh, I only rinse my face with water. Or I literally just use my shampoo to wash my face in the shower. It's like your skin may be fine, but it only matters how much you care about what your skin looks like in the future. If you don't really care, then you can completely continue doing that and it's fine. Yeah. But you know, there are some people in certain industries or career paths where appearances do kind of matter. So that's when it's like, oh, okay, shit, I have to start doing my skincare, you know? So, but at the end of the day, it's just up to you, you know?
I mean, I'm starting to think more about it. And when I say think about it, I mean literally just think. Because I don't take action. I know I need to do more. Like Sally gave me some of her collagen drink stuff, which I've been drinking.
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
But I need to do some more stuff because at the rate that, okay, so I brought this up before, but I'm gonna bring it up again for you. But there was a Korean girl from Clubhouse. I'm not gonna say her name.
Oh, I think I heard the story.
She saw me, yeah. But I gotta say it for everybody here, and I want your reaction live. And she said. You have a nice body, but your face is kind of old looking and wrinkly.
Oh my god!
And she said we need to get you some skincare products. So actually, I have the bag over there from like months ago, which I haven't touched because she gave me too many steps and I'm overwhelmed. So I didn't even start it.
That's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem.
Is there a way to just do something where I don't have to have like 5 steps?
Yeah. So for the mass majority, one thing I learned the hard way is like the way I create content is how I do my skincare. But I realized No one's gonna fucking do it my way. It's like it's like 1% of people will do it my way. For the mass majority, people just want 2 or 3 steps and that's it. So that's when I realized you can't overwhelm someone when you're teaching them from the beginning with anything at all. If you want to teach them how to trade stocks, you're not going to teach them everything at one go. You're just going to teach them from the beginning, like input this much amount of money, whatever, interest, blah, blah, blah. So same thing with skincare. Just start with the basics. You only need cleanser, moisturizer. Just those 2. If you're very diligent, and everyone will love you for this, if you sunscreen also, that's amazing. But for the most part, most people do not fucking sunscreen. Yeah. So just cleanser, moisturizer. Just 2 steps. That's all you need to do. Once you find those 2 steps that are perfectly fit for your skin, then you can add stuff if you want to, but by no means is it mandatory or necessary. It's only if you want to, really. Skincare is a if you want to do a thing. Not,
if I want to.
Exactly. And I've been trying to preach this for so long, but you know, the mass majority of skincare content creators, the whole point is to share as much skincare as they can and to try to sell as much as they can. So they can't say just use 2 things because there's 100 steps. You can't just talk about 2 of them, you know? Yeah. So that's like our job, to like constantly just talk about all these steps in between to kind of like entice people like, hey, are those 2 steps good? What about the 3rd one? How about the 4th? Let's add it up to 10. And that's what I basically do, you know? Yeah.
Oh, you just prepare them to kind of be able to level up and learn and all that?
So I teach them, like, if they do get bored or they want to do more, then it's like, hey, you can add these, or this is how you introduce it to your skincare if you want to do it, but not because you have to do it. So,
how'd you even get in the skin like that?
I mean, you know, like, growing up Korean, like, you know, like when I went to church, all the Korean, you know, kyoungs and nunas, they always had their skincare like all locked in, and like they all had beautiful skin. Maybe my eyes weren't developed yet when I was a kid, but whenever I saw them, I was like, your guys' skin is amazing. And that's the first thing that always stuck out to me. Like all of them, all the high school kyoungs and college kyoungs, I was like, oh my God, even bros, their skin is amazing too, you know? So as I grew up, you know, like I basically just stuck with all the basics, just cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. Every now and then, if my mom gets a sample or like my friend gives me like a small little package or something, I'll test it and I'll try it. I just kept experimenting throughout the years. And then in high school, middle school, I got really gnarly acne to the point where it's so gross. And I begged my mom to go to a dermatologist to get it treated.
Okay. What's your definition of gnarly? Because you talking about that pimple? Dude,
okay.
If that's the worst.
No. Okay. So for real. So this was like gnarly to the point where it's like my entire forehead, it looked like there was shrapnel just embedded in my forehead. It was so bad. Fucked. So it got to the point where it's like I would purposely grow out my hair to cover like all my bangs and everything.
But it makes it worse.
It makes 10 times worse.
Always.
Hella worse.
Yeah.
So, you know, I basically learned that from the dermatologist when I went. But once I finally went to dermatologist, she was like, okay, you have to change this and this and this, and you can't use these products anymore. And like, she was so surprised because she was like, this 6th, 7th grader is using all these products. It's like, what the fuck is this kid doing, you know? So at the time, she was like, okay, this kid just doesn't know anything. He blew up his face. But it was kind of like a Bruin type of thing. Because it's not like all of a sudden all this acne on my forehead came. It was like one fatty pimple, then like a handful, and then it was just my entire forehead. Wow. So the procedure that she did, and oh my God, this is my biggest regret, but I do not remember this dermatologist. She's in Torrance, but I don't remember her name or where her location is, her practice. But anyway.
But she changed her life.
She changed my fucking life. So this was a gnarly procedure that she did to clear my forehead. I laid down, right? And there's a fucking like mirror in the ceiling so you can see yourself, right? So she puts this like numbing cream on my forehead, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of nice. It's like minty, fresh, cooling, whatever. And then she literally gets this like horseshoe shaped metal scraper thing, and she just scrapes it across my entire forehead, and I can fucking see it in the ceiling. Yeah. I can see. I'm a fucking like middle school kid. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I can't feel it at all, but I can see it. I can see it, like all the blood and like all this white stuff is coming off. I was like, what the hell? And then once she finally scrapes off the end piece, my forehead is just red. All this like underlying pus is still like oozing out and stuff. I was like, what the fuck? And I swear, that was the first time I felt like I was gonna pass out in my life. I've never passed out in my life, but I felt like I was gonna pass out.
Because you saw all the crap.
I saw it, and I was like, I can't believe that's what's under my skin. That's what's happening to my skin. That's what you're fucking doing to my skin right now. You know, it's crazy. And after that, she just kind of like extracted everything, like squeezed everything out, and then she put on this kind of like medication thing. And like, even though I had numbing cream on, I felt that medication she put on. It was like stinging my forehead. Yeah. And then she gave me this like prescription for like 4 or 5 days. And then, you know, my forehead kind of scabbed up and everything. And then after a week, completely fucking clear.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. It's absolutely fucking clear. And like, even now, I rarely get pimples. I mean, I got one pimple because I did the olive oil thing, but I never fucking get pimples on my forehead. Like, rarely get pimples.
And that, so she scrapes it. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that would make it worse or like scar it up.
Exactly. Yeah, so I thought that it was very barbaric at the time. But there's, you know, dermatologists, I don't agree with like 100% of them, but they all have a methodology of what they're doing to treat their patients. So that's why it's kind of like okay, I'll just leave my skin in her hands. And luckily it did work. If it didn't work out, I honestly probably would not be in skincare right now. I'd probably be an advocate of like, fuck dermatologists, like, fuck you guys trying to make money off of me, you know? Because it was pretty expensive. I remember I asked my mom what the bill was, and it was around like $800 for the entire procedure and the actual 4 or 5 day medication afterwards.
That was an investment?
It was an investment, and
well.
Yeah, I thank my mom a lot for you know, it took me like 4 or 5 days of me constantly begging her, but she finally took me, and I thank her for that. And that literally sparked like the thing in my head, like, holy shit, like I thought I knew skincare even though I was like a little kid. I was like, I thought I knew skincare, but I didn't. And someone else who knows so much more about skincare like cured me. There must be so much more to this than what I just know about watching Korean dramas and variety shows or watching things on, I guess there wasn't YouTube at the time, just talking with other people, like people with great skin. There's so much more to this. So it just kept on evolving at that point.
Yes, because I never met people so passionate about skincare until like Sally and then you, and then I started to. It took me into this whole nother universe that I didn't really know about. Because girls are always like, oh my, I gotta, you know, oh my god, I have wrinkles, but it never goes beyond that.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even guys. Guys are just, well, guys, we don't really take care of ourselves.
Yeah,
a lot of us
guys
don't.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I feel like that's completely normal in the Western states or Western nations, basically, because we just didn't grow up with that education that like skincare is kind of like basic hygiene. For the most part, they just do the bare minimum. But in Korea and stuff, they teach you about like longevity and how your skin will be like in the future. Rather here, it's just like wash your face because it's dirty. Like, but they don't teach you like, oh, if you do this and this and this, your skin may get better like this. You may be able to prevent all these acne issues and stuff like that. Which is why in Korea and Asia overall, acne isn't that big of an issue. It's because most people don't understand that like, just because you don't do skincare now doesn't mean nothing's going to happen to you later. Or if you do skincare now, your skin's going to be fantastic later. You have to do a lot of preventative things to stop that skin memory buildup, because anything can start happening to your skin at that moment. So you just have to do whatever you can to prevent that. So you save your money from paying thousands of dollars in the future for plastic surgery, cosmetic procedures, all those types of things. So yeah, it's just mostly an education thing, which is why I do my social media. It's just to teach people that, you know, you got to do your skincare. Doesn't matter if you're a bro. Doesn't matter if you're a musclehead. It really doesn't matter. You just got to do your skincare. You have to.
The way you're explaining it, it strikes fear in my heart now about the future. Because muscle memory, your fucking skin's gonna remember. But then now you're educating me on that, because I didn't know there was like a memory type factor.
Exactly. So for like wrinkles, for instance, like one of the best examples is Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay, you know how he has gnarly. You could like, you know, when you go like rock climbing, you could fit your finger.
You
can fucking climb, okay? Bouldering people can practice on his forehead. Right. But the crazy thing is, he actually got a face tuck once.
What's that? Is that like a facelift? What's a face tuck?
Basically, like, so face tuck, facelift is like, so tuck is like basically you like tuck it back and then you snip off the extra skin.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's what he did. But even now, you still look at his face, it's still gnarly. It's because that skin muscle memory, that collagen is there. So it's, well, for him, he's an extreme case. So many skincare people talk about him all the time because he's like the best, like, this is what happens when you just don't care, you know?
Extreme example.
Exactly. And even for the facelift or the face tuck, like, he even said he regretted it because for him, it was so painful, like the entire recovery, because they had to fucking tuck it a lot, you know?
Like pull his skin to the back of the head?
You're literally stretching it and you're trying to like what's it called? Like scrape it from the inside out to kind of like smoothen it, you know? Because at the end of the day, wrinkles is like, it's like a ditch. It's like a crevice. Yeah. So you have to kind of push that out. So that's what they did to his skin. So the recovery was intense.
Fuck, so it's like when you got a half an avocado and you're trying to...
Exactly. You're literally just trying to scoop like the final inside green, you know? You're just trying to scoop it out. So that's why we tell people like, you know, at the end of the day, like you just want to try to do as much as you can to not have to go through stuff like that. There's so many things you can do to not have to go through things like that. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's like, I feel like if you care about what you look like in the future, then it matters. But for a lot of people, like they really don't care. Yeah.
I mean, I care.
If you care, then there's no better day than today to start, yo.
Now I want to start. Well, I care more now because you're scaring me.
Most people say that. They're like, Young, I thought you were like a funny educational guy, but you're just scaring me. And like for the most part, that's like the most effective thing. But on social media, it doesn't really work, like scaring people.
Yeah, because they're gonna associate you with fear.
Exactly.
And they're not gonna want to watch your stuff.
Exactly. So that's why it's very difficult. Like just skincare overall, it's such a complex thing. There's no one size fit all. There's absolute no tried and true formula. That's why it's crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So for the most part, I just tell people, don't think about it like you're doing. Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just
like anything in life.
Exactly. Oh my God. You just read my mind.
Dude, don't think. Like somebody DM me today. Hey, I'm thinking of starting a podcast.
No.
As soon as I hear I'm thinking or how do I start doing stand-up, and then you want to ask more questions after that, that just tells me you don't really want to do it.
Exactly.
Because 99% of the people that ask me that have never done it, or they started and completely stopped.
That's 100% the same. Like I totally experienced the same too. A lot of people like, you know, like when I blew up on TikTok or whatever, people are like, oh my God, Young, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. It was just complete luck, you know? But then once I started getting like my business set and everything like that, that's when I was like, okay, I know actually how to do it because I plan things out. And this is like my tried and true formula of how to keep up with my business. And then people would be like, oh, hey, Young, I'm thinking about opening a social media for this and this and this. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Like, tell me about it. They're like, well, I just want to see your advice. Like, do you think maybe posting this is good? But it's like, I don't even know if it's going to be good or not because that's not my personality. Mm-hmm. You would have to try it first, see what the feedback is, and then maybe I can help you afterwards. But most people didn't even think about actually making the video in the first place or making content at all. I'm like, you just got to do it, yo. Like I can tell you, someone could tell you the exact formula on how to be successful and like they just won't do it. You know, they'll just think about it like, oh, I have the secret formula, blah, 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 blah. But it's kind of like, well, you have to do it in order to actually achieve something or fail at something. So it's just super back and forth. And at the end of the day, like I tell people, if you're going to think about doing something, just stop thinking, like just do it. And if you fail, you'll learn so much more from that in the first place. But you just have to do something.
Just do it.
Hashtag sponsor Nike. Yeah, for the most part, like I try to tell a lot of people, especially like when they tell me ideas, you know, people like pitch me ideas all the time. I'm not even that big. And people pitch me ideas. I'm like, you're pitching to the wrong guy. You know, you have to pitch like an agency or something. But, you know, I'm always welcome and opening to hear their ideas because, you know, that's what I really wish I had when I was starting my social media like 4 or 5 years ago. I really wish there was someone who can like hear me out and just tell me like bluntly, is this a good idea or do I need to think about it more, you know? So I'm always welcome to hearing people's ideas, but they're almost all the same. It's all just the bare minimum foundation. And it's like, there must be another reason why you're wanting to do this because it's obviously not because you really want to or it's because you're inspired and motivated to. It's like you're looking at someone else's success and you want to copy that or you want a taste of that. So I tell people all the time after they tell me their idea, I'm like, why do you want to do this? Most people always tell me the most bullshit answer. Like, oh, you know, like, this is my passion. I'm like, I've never fucking heard you talk about this once in my life, you know? So it's like, I really need them to be honest with me, but most people just don't want to be that honest. Or they just don't want to come to terms about, like, why they want to do that, you know? So it's just kind of frustrating, but at the same time, there's not really much you can do to steer people in the right direction because they're going to make their own decision at the end of the day. There's not really much I can do.
They always are. And everything that, you know, as humans, whatever we think is to justify whatever belief we have to keep continuing to go that way for the protection of the ego. So that's just kind of what it is. But you just have to fucking do, man.
Exactly.
You just have to do. Like, nobody was listening to my podcast for like the first year. Literally nobody. But I did an episode per week because I had no following.
See, that's awesome. Yeah. That's the type of thing that I wish I saw more of. Like, so many people, especially when they do anything, they do like one video, one picture, one anything, and then they're like, no one saw it, and they just give up. I'm like, dude, this is a longevity game. It's a long-term game. You just have to keep doing it. Like, the people who do blow up on social media, it's like, it's so lottery and it's very luck fueled. It's 100% luck fueled. Like, I have to admit, my social media is, when it blew up, it's completely luck. Because I was already doing it for 3-4 years, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I blow up. It makes no sense.
Well, when did it blow up?
Okay, well, I guess you can say timing too, but it blew up like right when quarantine was getting serious. So like March 2020. Yeah. But everyone started at that time.
Me too.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I was doing it for a few months before then. Nobody gave a fuck. And then right when lockdown got really bad, and then...
Yeah, like that's when majority of people started blowing up. It's because, everyone's stuck at home, so the screen time is so high across the entire nation, basically the entire world, So it was like, I admit, it's like timing is one thing, but luck is a huge benefit that was on my side when my social media blew up. So whenever people tell me like, Young, like this first video, it didn't do well, like I don't think I'm doing it right, it's like, no, just keep trying it a couple times, because I tell a lot of people, like, don't try to make content that other people like, just make the content that you like, because at the end of the day, like, if you don't enjoy making that content, you're just not going to want to do it, or it's going to be such a drag. And I learned that like the hard way, of course. Like, I tried to cater to my audience who are more into like the bougie photos, like nice shadows and sunset glow colors, but that wasn't me. And it was so hard for me to like take videos and photos like that, because I just didn't care about any of those things. I just want to talk about the product or talk about a skincare technique and just go with that, So whenever I'm telling people, like, just make sure you create content that you like so that you can just make it forever. And if people vibe with you, then they'll watch your content. Forget about the people who don't watch your content. Like, if they don't watch your content, then it's fine. Everyone's content is not meant for each and every person to be like catered to you. So it's kind of like, just make the content however you want to. People vibe with you. Eventually it'll grow. And if it doesn't, especially after like a year or two, I'd say then you can look back and revise what things you may change, or maybe if you want to go towards a more trendy route or whatever is more relevant at the time, then you can do that. But always do what you want to do first, rather than trying to create content for other people. Because fuck other people. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm making my content for me. Like, great, other people watch my content, but when I make my content, it's for me, and for me to like reference, to tell to other people, like, hey, this is the video I made, you should watch this. It's not a video meant for 1,000 people, it's a video meant for you. So that's why it's very important to just make content that you like. Make content that you like.
No, I agree with you too, man, because there was a point where I felt like I had to keep making the thing that blew me up was the Confessions of a Former Fuckboy series. It's where I was talking about how
I remember that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And people kept wanting it, and it turned into like a fucking long series. And then I felt like that's all they wanted.
Yeah.
And I started to hate myself. And then people started thinking I was a dating guru, and then people were like trying to pay me for dating advice. Yeah, but that was, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you how I used to manipulate them. That to like help women defend from the manipulation.
Yeah.
But then of course the teenage boys are like taking notes. Thousands of comments, taking notes. They were so excited, right? But then I was getting tired of that. And again, I I'm not fucking, who's a dating coach? Matt, the white dude? Or all of them. I'm not fucking that shit.
Exactly.
It was irritating.
Yeah.
It drove me crazy.
One thing that I've noticed is like, how do you respond? Because, for skincare, it's kind of like people are just like, oh, Young, like that product doesn't work, or you're just Asian, so your skin's naturally great. But it's like in the comedy world, it's like, I feel, especially just entertainment in general, like, how do you, I guess, like respond, or like how do you respond to all like the backlash of like certain types of jokes that you say? Because some people are very PC, or like some people just don't like the types of jokes that people talk about. Like, how do you like defend yourself against that, especially from like TikTok, where TikTok is so savage, man?
TikTok is pretty savage, but For me, at first I used to respond to every comment to prove that I'm not affected.
Yeah.
But then it's like I'm responding to hundreds.
Exactly.
To the point where TikTok wouldn't let me respond anymore for like a few hours.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how I was like, if you want it, I'll fucking out savage you. I'll show you. But then over time it gets to you because you keep reading the same thing and it's just negativity.
Exactly.
So it's not even like a specific comment. It's just you're just in that cloud. So after a while, and then of course that did affect me. But where I'm at now is, I understand logically, instead of me feeling how I feel based off of what they said, I think about, or how it's a response, I think about why would they do that. So, people only respond and give their opinion like that because they're being sensitive. And then they just want to, and on the internet, it's a place where they feel like they can express themselves because maybe they feel out of control in their real life.
Yeah.
And then I also understand that each video on TikTok especially is its own ecosystem.
It is.
So I'll have one video where people are like, fuck you for this, for saying that. Next video, they're not even there. Because it's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
It just happens to be whatever I said, trigger them. And I understand it. And also I told myself going into this, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. Without like, I'm not intentionally trying to hurt people. My intent is always good.
Yeah.
Right. So then knowing that, because I have values, I'm like, then it is what it is. And I hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Like if I get the way I look at it is, if I get executed because I'm behind enemy lines, well, I chose to go behind enemy lines, not calling them enemies. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's like the analogy and metaphor of it. So it doesn't affect me.
Has that? I mean, were there any instances where like brands were like, or like like any sponsorship deals or anything like that? Like, were they ever like, oh, like we would like you to address like certain things you say so that we can see like where you're aligned in terms of like morals or stuff like that? Or
No. But also, I've gotten a lot of sponsors hitting me up, but I never agreed to even one.
Why?
I don't know. Well, either some of them try to take advantage of me, pay me very little money, or it's like a thing I don't even really care about. But also, it could be like a limiting belief of maybe I should just try one thing.
You should, man.
Should, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, out of like the handful of offers that come in, like there's going to be one opportunity that will break into something else, or like it'll just be the stepping stone of networking into that area, Wait,
we can explain that. It can that leads into like a networking thing. What, like how?
Yeah, so like especially for like the beauty social media, the way everyone starts is like you get free product or whatever, and then you make content for them. And it's like, it takes a lot of work. I mean, it really depends on how much effort you want to put into it. But for the most part, if you're really serious about it, you'll create like A+ content every single time, like high quality, like HD content that they can repurpose however they want to use, But then eventually it'll get to the point where it's like, it's taking up a lot of your time and you start asking for some type of compensation rather than just the product itself. Because, okay, this is like a huge like tangent, but then the margins in skincare or beauty overall is insane. They're making like up to like 70-80% margins on all their products. So when they send you free product, it's like pennies to them. It's like nothing, as opposed to, let's say, like a tech company. Like if a computer company sends you like a graphics card, it's like thousands of dollars and they're not making that much money off of that. They're probably making like 30-40% margin. So it's like they kind of need that product back, or they have to make sure that the content that you're going to make in exchange for that graphics card is going to be fucking fantastic. But in the skincare world, it's not really like that because it's so easily affordable for them and it costs nothing. So that's why like once we get to that point where it's like, okay, creating this content, it takes a bit of time for us. Now can we talk about some like compensation on our end? It's taking a lot of time, a lot of editing. I work with a lot of other brands that really like you guys and stuff like that. So that's when you start opening the doors to see which brands will actually work with you. Just that first step is a huge thing. Because, at the end of the day, like, money is a big factor in all companies, like their budgets, their brands, marketing, and everything like that. The ones who will support you, even just a little bit, are the ones that actually believe in you and like you for your content. And they're not looking to like rip you off or take advantage of you for future content either. So you start taking those like smaller deals. It may seem kind of like not worth it at all, but then it always builds up. So the way, like, this is just complete example, but if I worked with like Innisfree or like something like Nature Republic, and we started free, then I'll ask them for like, oh, like this video maybe takes me like 3 hours, minimum wage is like 10.50 or something. Can you pay me like $30 for this video? It takes me 3 hours. If they agree to it, great. And then the next video, I'll probably ask for like a little bit more depending on what their campaign is. I'll be like, can you pay me $50? And it'll just keep on growing more and more. And that relationship gets bigger. And then with Innisfree is a part of More Pacific, I think. Yeah, I think they're part of More Pacific. They have a huge umbrella of other brands. So that social media coordinator will talk to other managers and stuff like, hey, like I really love this kid's content. You guys should totally pick him up for this campaign or whatever you're doing. It just keeps expanding from there. And all social media like managers and stuff, they all talk to each other. So it's like this brand will talk to this brand, this agency will pitch it to this brand. It just keeps flowing from there. So that's why I tell people, like, no matter how small it is, just make sure you grab the opportunity that you want where you think that it'll grow, and then you just keep going from there. Because at the end of everyone has to start somewhere, whether it's like $1 or $5. I know some people who used to do skincare photos for $5 a pop for like 3-4 years. Wow. But they only did like 10 because at then there's only so many campaigns out there. But that's how they started. Now they're making like 15 grand per photo, not even a video.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just something that just has to like build and grow. So whatever opportunities you can take to network, to kind of build your brand recognition on the company's end, you just got to do it. Because that takes the most amount of time. Unless you're like Bella Porch or like Charlie, and then you just blow up and everyone knows you out of nowhere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So realistically, everyone just has to build from the bottom up slowly. I tell people all the time, if there's any opportunities that you may have missed, just revisit it. Because they just contacted you in the first place. So they still like you. These brands pitch an email to so many like social media people. If you ghost them, they don't take it like in any
they
bad
wouldn't even
way.
know.
Exactly. Because they have a list of like 500 people for one coordinator. Wow. Imagine how many coordinators a team has. So it's kind of like they throw, I don't know what the fucking analogy is, but they just shoot out a lot and then just hope to get like one, That's their kind of mindset. Just shoot for the masses.
It's like busting nuts in multiple people and then
exactly.
get a baby.
Yes,
you might get a baby. You might get a baby.
You might get a baby. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. So if you ghost them or anything, it's complete. If you said no to them, that's a different issue. But then of course it depends on how you said no. But if someone came with you with like an opportunity 8 months ago, you can definitely like respond to them because they're still there. You have their email. Like you're not going to be in their junk mail or anything. You'll be in their inbox. So definitely revisit it. Yeah. Any opportunity, take it, except for this water. Fuck this water.
I mean, should we even say water because they're gonna get advertised?
Yeah. Fuck. Okay.
I'll just take out the
just
this part.
yeah.
Or if we just say beep water.
Yes. Beep water.
Yeah.
Fuck beep water.
Yeah. You know why? Fuck them? Because I'd rather have warmest water.
The hottest, warmest water.
Not the hot. By the way, I need to talk to you about something really fucking important.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and thank you for that because you just opened my mind on that because I know nothing about that world. But I need to talk to you about something really fucking important. Yeah, drink that water. Prepare. So I heard that you're not a fan of 7 Deadly Sins.
Okay, dude. Okay.
From SJ.
Okay, SJ got it wrong. Let me show you the fucking DMs. Oh my gosh, she is getting it twisted right now.
I took it personally, man.
No. Okay, hold up. Okay, I love 7 Deadly Sins. I think the concept is so amazing, so great. Every step of the way, it was amazing. I just told her I didn't like the anime of 7 Deadly Sins. The first season was fantastic. Yeah. Afterwards, it started getting really sloppy and they cut out so much of the core story. That's why I didn't like it.
All compared to the manga?
Exactly, yeah. So that's why like they skipped a lot of parts. And when I watched the anime, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did he get to this part? They completely skipped this one part, But for the majority, it's like if you didn't read the manga, it doesn't really matter too much, but it just adds to the story. Kind of like if you read the Harry Potter books compared to just watching Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Similar like that.
True.
But it's just so much better. But at that same time, it's like I didn't like the anime because if you look at season 2 and 3, is there season 4? I think there's season 4 now, right? Or something. But it's like the animation is so bad.
Okay, the animation's, I'm not gonna lie. The
Like it's getting worse and
The
worse.
frame rate.
It's getting worse. It's
like 20 frames a minute.
Exactly. So I told her this too. How dare you switch it up on me, SJ? No, I told her. I was like, I love Seven Deadly Sins. I just don't like the later animes. Because later animes are just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the Netflix animes, because the old hand-drawn animes, like from like even the 90s,
Yeah.
are fucking smooth.
They're buttery smooth. And
Yeah.
even when they update it to HD, it's even better than the ones coming out now, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I told SJ this. How dare you try and make enemies out of us? How dare you? How dare you? But for the most part, like, I absolutely love Seven Deadly Sins. That's on the record. I love Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah.
On the record, but we're not gonna talk about beep water, because fuck you.
Yeah, fuck beep water. Okay,
Yeah.
shit.
Beep water, taking advantage of people.
Damn, dude, you scared me when you said you were talking about something serious. I thought it was like, are you like, wait, what's up? Who's that one interview guy? Like, Nardwad or something like that?
Nardwar?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like, you dug up some shit.
Oh,
I
no,
was like, oh shit! I started sweating so much, man. I got some underboob sweat and
I could
everything.
feel the tension between us, and I was like, "This is exactly as a stand-up comedian. That's what you want." And then it's like it's something else.
Dude,
Tension
I was like,
release.
thank God it's just that. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
dude.
I don't know anything. I didn't do any weird. And when Nardwar does that stuff, he's looking for good stuff.
He is, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's not like he's like trying to dig up dirt on them or anything. It's just very like, whoa, like that's very interesting that
Yeah.
no one would have ever found out unless they dug as deep as him.
You see, that's why I'm a performer. You saw that? You saw right there? Like, you saw how I drew you in?
You did, man. That
and I was your sole focus for those like 5 seconds.
dude, I'm not even kidding. Like the second you said that, I felt sweat coming from the top of my head, and then my underboob sweat, and my back is like soaked now. And then the second you told me it was just about Seven Deadly Sins, I was like, oh fuck the heavens, I love it. Thank God for this lighthearted topic, because oh man, I don't know what kind of dirt may be there in my life, but if you found out something, I'd be so like deer stuck in headlights, like for real. Like
No, I don't know
would've
jack
been
shit.
shocked.
I don't know anything about the skin. I know nothing about people in the skincare industry, because I'm not even part of it.
Honestly, skincare industry is not that exciting at all. There's no, if there is drama, it's drama that's connected with something else. Like it's like skincare and then like LGBTQ plus, or like skincare and like some fashion disaster. It's like, it's really stupid.
Oh, so it's never in the actual skincare.
It's never in actual skincare. That's why people say like skincare is very boring. And that's why so much skincare content is just people doing crazy things.
Oh, like you go.
No, I mean, well,
No, but that's your personality
exactly,
too, though.
that's my style, yeah.
Which I appreciate.
There's a lot of people who make content where it's like specifically they do it for the views. Like there's something called derma rolling. It's like a roller with like needles, and like there is a purpose for that. Like you like roll over your face.
A bunch of needles on it.
Yeah, it's like very sharp needles. It literally like punctures your skin. But there's a purpose for that. But some people use that and then they rub it on your skin purposely till it bleeds, and then they put on chemical peels on purpose for the views. And then like of course that like kind of troubles us, because we're trying to help people not do those things. But then people think like, oh, because at the end of the video, all of them spin it by saying, oh my God, now my skin is so fantastic. But it's supposed to be a joke, you know? But there's no disclaimer, there's no nothing. And a lot of kids will follow that, because so many like teenagers and preteens, they have real skincare concerns, like I did when I was in middle school. So they take skincare very seriously. So when they see videos like that, they think that's the real solution when it's not. So that's the only kind of drama that happens. But nowadays, I classify it more as like, that's just like entertainment. It's just entertaining to watch, you know? But then there are a couple people where we kind of like clap back and we're like, yo, like when they're making claims that it's gonna transform your skin, or we see the comments like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 20 years, but it's like, bro, you're only 14. Like, how do you do it for 20 years, you know?
or like 14-year-old what is it, fucking life coaches.
Exactly.
I'm like,
those are
crazy. What the fuck, dude? And then they'll be like, they'll just regurgitate quotes.
Oh,
and everybody's
my
like,
God.
yeah, this kid knows what's up. Thank you. You inspired me.
It's like, you haven't even fucking grown a hair off your testicle, bro. It's like, come on.
Yeah, dude.
And what's even crazier, there's this one kid who talks a lot about crypto, and he has a pretty big following. He has like around like 120,000 followers on TikTok. That's pretty big.
For a little kid talking about
like,
crypto.
He's like 12 or 13, but you can totally tell he copies other people's content and he just records it on his own. But it's just so amazing that there's people like that. I consider that, like I said, more entertainment because I've seen so much of these one-off content, these like viral videos and stuff like that. But it's just crazy that a lot of people don't know it, especially the way TikTok works. It's not like Instagram where it's like you see a consistent feed of like progress from the person you're following. It's just random, you know? So you don't know if that person has seen your other videos and understand that that is your video style, or you're a comedic person, or you're doing it purely for entertainment, or because you want to go viral. People don't know that. So whenever these videos come out that are just absolutely crazy, it's like more damaging than anything, especially since I learned this, that not many people are on social media as much as me. I'm on social media like 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm always on my phone. My phone is always charging. I have like
It's always charging.
It's always
'Cause it has
charging.
to.
I have this mobile mode on my computer that I installed so I can look at app stuff on my computer because I just have to type faster, you know. It's kind of gets tiring with my thumbs. So it's like I know people aren't like that as me. So people won't understand that there are different categories of videos. So it's kind of like when I see the normal person responding or reacting to a viral video, I'm like, oh, you guys should just be careful about that information because it could be anything. It could be true, it could be false, it could be just for fun, you know? So it's just a very scary world out there when it comes to social media.
Yeah, no, it is. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
A lot of
people believe
misinformation.
it. People believe what they see. I didn't realize how bad it was until I got in that world. You know, being a creator and stuff. People really believe shit. Like they'll believe it when if somebody just says, "Oh, this was done in like a science research facility." They won't say where it was. They won't say anything about like, the actual case study.
They'll never cite it, no nothing.
They don't really know. It's like more like hearsay type of shit.
Exactly.
And then people are like, "Oh, see that's right. That proves why this."
Exactly.
Yeah, like why it's good to drink a bottle of wine a day.
It's like that one thing I heard. It's like when you're making an argument and you say, oh, let me go do my own research before I come out with my own opinion or whatever. It's saying everyone is basically saying, let me find evidence that supports my argument before I tell you exactly what I want to say. So that's why it's crazy because TikTok is, everyone understands about TikTok. It's very cult-like. There's so many cults that have stemmed from so many like 1 week trends that have stemmed from it because most people just focus on that view number, the likes number, and they're like, oh, if this is popular, I have to be a part of this. Yeah. I have to hop on this. And it's like they believe it like it's their own religion at this point. But it's crazy because it happens so often, over and over and over, but people still fall for it. The same people too. It's like they never learn. But like I said, that's just social media, and that's just the amount of misinformation and belief that keeps spreading around. But that's the fun part about it too, because anything could happen.
Yeah,
like
the trend thing is an interesting thing because I notice how much that TikTok trends and even slang affects real life society because remember when like the she thing was big, everybody was doing it, and then it just completely stopped out of nowhere because it went away.
Exactly.
So it's like these like super quick short term trends that they don't really last like you were saying because it's not like remember the 80s was like that, but that's like a whole decade of things. But this is just like its own little, because there's been a few times where I felt like I would have to do those when I was having like a bad day and I felt like I needed to get a shit ton of views or so or whatever. And then I'm doubting what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to do this trend thing. And it's just like, but then like, why? And then you're not even really sure of who you are anymore.
Exactly.
If you keep doing that at least. So it's not really healthy. I don't think so.
It's not healthy at all. And what's crazier is like, there was actually a couple of people who made like content on this. They're like, 90% of like TikTok users don't even remember what the last week's trend was. They don't. And oh my God, I don't even remember what the trend was last week. And I'm on my phone every fucking day, like analyzing everyone's videos, you know? I don't remember what the trend was last week. And what's crazy is like all these TikTok accounts that are like, there are like a lot of new TikTok accounts that are blowing up where they do throwbacks. but throwback to like 2 months ago. And they're like, oh, remember this pop in TikTok song? Remember this phrase? It's like, so like, what the fuck? It's
That's
only
weird.
They're blowing up though, because a lot of people are like, I remember. It's like, you better fucking remember. That was only 2 months ago, you know? So that's why it's kind of like crazy how these trends come and go so fast, but they still affect our day-to-day lives. Like people, like before TikTok, I didn't hear that many people say no cap. But now it's like everyone fucking says no cap, like on the daily. So it's kind of like weird seeing like, even like one of my friend's nieces, she was like 7 years, she's like, oh, no cap. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, I know a 50-year-old man who says no cap
Oh
now.
my God.
Because that.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
To me, like the fact that so many trends, so many phrases spawned from trends on TikTok and social media in general, it's just crazy to me because I don't know how much longer I want to live my life like that. Like, because my vocab has to constantly be updated. I really have to be like in tune with all these slang words and stuff. Because like sometimes I like stream on Twitch and like all these people are saying things. I'm like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? You know, I'm like,
Do you ask them?
yeah, yeah. Like I have to ask them, or we look it up together. Like I look it up on Google.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
do like
okay,
Urban
like-
Dictionary.
Yeah.
Because I had to do that early on too when at the height of the lockdown, when it first started, like around March and stuff, and I started streaming on TikTok. I would live stream for like 4 to 8 hours a day.
Damn.
There was nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's
literally
true.
nothing to do, and I was like, "Fuck it, this is making me feel not lonely." And then on top of the making the videos, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, because he was being a simp," and I'd be like, "Hey guys, what's a simp, man? What's a simp now?" But now I say simp all the time.
I didn't know what simple was either at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So whenever I think about how things might be in the future, I'm always worried about what about the past am I gonna forget? Because up until like, okay, honestly, I pretty much remember almost every relevant thing about my past up until March 2020 when quarantine happened. And up until now, I don't remember anything. Like I can't tell you like a popular song that was on that wasn't on TikTok. You know, every popular song, everything on Spotify top 100, everything is a fucking TikTok song. And I'm so tired of it. And I'm trying to think about like, when am I gonna listen to authentic music again? When am I gonna remember like a certain dance or like a joke that I see that I remember? Because I still remember a lot of the jokes that like that like I used to watch, like Russell Peters. I still remember a lot of his jokes because I watched it was relevant and it wasn't like a trendy type of thing. But there's so many comedy things there's so many stand-up comics that I follow on TikTok. I don't remember any of their jokes for some reason. But if I watch it again, I'll remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I heard that.
But do you know what that is though too? Because there's a lot of stand-up comedians. Everybody's trying to do stand-up now too, and
a lot of people
just because it
actually,
does well on TikTok and goes viral, doesn't mean that it's actually an actual good joke.
Yes, I heard that from I was listening to Joe Rogan talking to oh my god, Bill Burr? Yeah, but yeah, he was talking about how like there's a lot of new stand-up comedians like you're talking about on like they found a very effective way to showcase their jokes in short form media, but then they're like just because it does well there, and like there were a couple times when they actually go to actual stand-up show and they do the same joke, it like bombs, you know, because they're like it's just a completely different audience. The way you execute the whole joke, the whole scene, it just doesn't work that way on social media. So it's kind of scary, man.
Yeah, because you have to do it all the time in front of different audiences, and then you kind of figure out which jokes are the ones that are universal or which ones are very like kind of niche, demographic specific. But that's why when people only do like social media type, like they do from like a little tiny show, they get a clip and then they post it and then it gets a shit ton of views and everybody's like, oh, you're so funny, you're so funny. They haven't really put in the work to know what funny is and bomb enough, right? So like, the clips I put out, they're all throwaway jokes. They're the short, quick ones.
Yeah.
And some of them are hacky, and I know that, but it's just funny, it's just fun, whatever, I don't care, right? But there's jokes I don't put out that are part of my actual repertoire of like my set for the long thing. So yeah, and then the whole like social media thing of whatever video gets the most likes or views based off of what you may have talked about or whatever, you kind of start to see your worth lie within that realm.
Yeah.
And that kind of, at one point it started to shape the way I was thinking and talking when I because the blow up came out of nowhere, right?
Exactly.
For me during lockdown, and then I had a. But fortunately, it happened when I was already 29, 30. But if it happened to me when I was like 22, because I was so impressionable and I didn't know myself at all, it would have completely taken over my personality.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't know who I was.
Yeah. And that's definitely something that would have happened to me if I blew up on social media at like 22 or like out of college. I probably would be making content very differently, or definitely my personality would have like been catered more towards that. And I see that with a lot of like younger creators, up and coming creators. A lot of them, when they started making content, they were like one way, and then as they get more and more popular, they kind of become like kind of like stuck up, like, oh, like shit, I get like 10K views. It's kind of like, oh, what the fuck, like everyone gets 10K views, like that's not a big deal, you know. It's like most people forget to like stay humble, or like just don't let the whole numbers and likes like affect their mindset and their personality. And like I feel like a lot of people like don't handle that well, but it's just because I feel like it's an age thing, you know. Like when you're younger, like something, if you get a lot of attention, it's like, oh fuck yeah, like I love this, I need more of this. But like, you know, for me, like I kind of blew up, and like I'm basically 30 now, and like, you know, for me, I was just like, whatever, like midlife crisis, crisis, you know, midlife crisis. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Let's just go with the flow. Like, you know, I'm not a success anyway, so whatever, fuck it. You know, if it does well, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know, but it's because I didn't have that pressure of like, I need to succeed now. Because when I was definitely like, when I actually had my real quarter life crisis at like 24, 25, I used to like break down and freak out all the time. I used to be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I need to get going. Because I would compare myself with all my other friends. You know, we'll all meet up. It's like, hey, you know, like how are you doing with your job and your work and everything? And they're like, oh yeah, just got promoted, or like just got a raise. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, man. I'm still working at a restaurant, you know?
I just got engaged to my girlfriend of 8 years. I'm like, fuck, dude, I just got dumped.
Exactly.
I'm a loser. Nobody loves me.
So it was like so intense for me at that time. So now I see it's like when younger kids blow up like that, I kind of understand where they're getting their like airheadedness from. But at the same time, it's like, I'm glad that me personally, I didn't blow up when I was younger, because I really don't think I would be the same person. I would probably still have hair, because I would probably not be stressing out as much as shit. But it's just crazy because like especially in the skincare community, like we're very close knit. When we compare like the older crowd, which is like 30 plus, and like the younger kids who are like teenagers, like still in college kids, social media, like we are so fucking different on like how we manage our money, what type of content we make, and how we like still keep in touch with each other. Most of the younger kids only want to talk to us for like advice about, hey young, like is this video a good idea, like should I do this, like is this viral enough? I'm like, I mean, I guess, you know, because we all give each other good feedback. At the same time, it's like, why don't you ever ask me, how are you doing? You know, like you never ask me. Like, what about me? You know, like
what's new? What's new, young?
They never ask that. Yeah. So it's kind of like we see that like split, you know. For them, they're more about like, what can I do for me to keep growing, to keep this momentum? But then for us, like the older crowd, we're kind of like, we do enjoy this, but we know it's a long-term game. So we're just going to create enjoying making that content. But it's the people that really matters too, because you can't do it alone. And a lot of these young kids, like they're really trying to do it alone. And like, that's when they sign up with like a contract that fucks them over completely, or they get taken advantage of with an agency or management, stuff like that. So yeah, like I'm just really thankful that I blew up at this age and not when I was younger.
So what do you mean by, because I hear this all the time too. They say, you can't do it alone, but I mean, you are your own brand. But when you say not doing it alone, let's say using you for an example, what do you mean by that?
So for me personally, I do everything so accounting, I do my pitching, responding to my emails, I do all my calendar coordinating, stuff like that. It's very, very time consuming. So I don't have that much time to actually make the content that I want to make, because it's so many the admin stuff that I wish I don't have to take care of. Like emails takes me like 3-4 hours a day.
Wow.
I mean, like, it's not like straight, but it's kind of like just throughout the day because I'm constantly just emailing, going back and forth. Negotiations are the biggest headache. And then planning timelines, because a lot of brands, they're like, oh, like, we don't want you to post on the same week. Sometimes they're like, oh, like, we just don't want you to post like, like pre-post 24 hours, like with another sponsored post. So it's a lot of coordination involved with that, and it gets tiring. And that's something that, like, I want to make money, so I have to cram in as much as I can, but organize as well. So it's very difficult for me to do on my own. The biggest difference for me and everyone else is I actually worked in the skincare industry as a salesman, marketing, logistics. Like, I actually worked in skincare before I did social media. So I have a lot more experience than the normal person, which is why a lot of people ask me for like advice on like how to do like contract negotiations and stuff like that. But because I know this, I can do it myself. I can do it well. A lot of other people, they've never sold something in their life. They've never done invoicing or accounting. They've never pitched themselves to like a brand or came up with like a media kit. Well, no one does media kits anymore, but like no one's put together like all of their portfolio stuff to present to like a brand. So a lot of that stuff is very difficult for people to do alone. And no matter how much they try to learn on their own, they just can't do it. It's not that they're dumb or anything. It's just something that's not a priority to them, because at the end of the day, they want to do the bare minimum of that, because the main goal is to make content. So that's when I tell people you can't do it alone, because there are agencies and managements out there who will do it 10 times fucking faster, more efficiently, to help you streamline all the back end things so that you can just focus on making the content. Which is why I tell people, if you don't really want to learn about this, like the business aspect of this, not just the fun creative side, then you should sign with a management or agency like right away, because they'll pitch you out to people. They already have that huge network. Take advantage of that. I mean, sure, the cut could be anywhere from like 10 to 20%, but in your end, like for your benefit, it's so huge because it's taking all that time, freeing it up for you so that you can just make that content. And at the same time, you don't have to constantly pitch to other brands and hope that you'll get a connect, because that agency or management already has that connect for you. So everything just makes sense to do business with other people rather than doing it alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because it's basically do what you're good at and then have other people do what they're good at.
Exactly.
And just make it easy.
Yeah. I mean, in my case, it's like I can do it well on my own. And since this is like my full-time job, I understand it's like, well, I have to put in like the 8, 10, 12 hours because this is my business. This is what I wanted to do. So I have to do this. And then previously, I've been with other agency management before, but I left because they couldn't offer me as much benefit, or they couldn't streamline my work as best as me or better than me for the amount that they were getting, like the commission pay cut from all my work. So I was like, I can just do it faster on my own. Because like the best instance is like, let's say I have a question about like a certain phrase or like an angle about how I'm supposed to film something. I have to email or text my manager first, and the manager will then contact the brand. And I have to wait for the brand to then contact my manager, and then the manager will contact me. But sometimes, the manager is busy, so I may not be the top of their priority list in terms of like communication with my campaigns and stuff. So it would have been faster if I just emailed or texted the brand directly. But if you're under a management or agency, you technically can't do that. Certain instances you can, but for the most part, like it's in your contract, like they'll be the middleman for you so that they feel like they're doing work for their part. So yeah, it's kind of like if they can't do better for you or make things easier for you, then there's kind of no point. So in my case, I wanted that extra 20%. I'm willing to do the extra 20% work. So that's fine for me. But it's because I know how to do it. For everyone else, I always strongly recommend just get an agency. Just once you get to the point where you're making any type of money, just sign up with the agency. Just be careful about which agency, though, because a lot of agencies will definitely try to take advantage of you. But the benefits are so vast, it's 100% worth it. Because they'll be able to push for numbers that you never thought you can get. So no matter how good of a negotiator you think you are, like I thought I was fantastic until a week ago, I had a conversation with like a co-founder of an agency, and she was like, "Young, you can get way more than that." I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, those aren't the rates I'm pitching for like my like clients." I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't know that." So now it's like I have like a better understanding of, for the numbers that I have, I can raise my rate a lot more after all. So that's why it's like, instead of going through the headache and learning that, like how I kind of like talk with other people to learn those business things, you're signing with the agency, they'll do it for you. So much easier. You'll make more money. You'll network faster. And it's just a better outlook on like how you want to make content, because you don't have to worry about the business anymore, because the business is the hardest part. That's definitely the hardest part out of all of this.
Yeah, that would be useful, because shit takes up a lot of time, man.
It's a lot of time, like, and it's frustrating.
It's a lot of fucking time. I mean, because I have like side hustles to pay the bills and all that at the same time. But everything combined, everything I'm doing, that's my whole fucking every day.
Yeah, see, so definitely. I mean, wait, are you not with the agency?
No, people always ask me that.
Dude, you have to be a part of an agency, man.
I do?
You have to at this point. I told, like, one of the first, it's like, so I used to like mentor these like upcoming creator kids, and like once it got to a certain point where they were constantly getting free products for review, I was like, hey, like either you reach out to agencies, or have any agencies reached out to you? And they'll be like, oh yeah, of course, you know, like there's a couple of brands. And I'm like, dude, definitely have a sit down talk with them, or Zoom meeting, and then figure out what the pros and cons are, and then just weigh it out, and then sign with one right away. Because once brands constantly send you like products for review, that means you're at that level where like all brands want to see your content, which means, okay, it's time for me to start making that money, you know, like there has to be some kind of, because the want is there, you know, the demand for your content is there. So that's when the agency will come, pick it up for you, and then streamline. Because at the end of the day, they're investing in you too, all these agencies.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be honest, man. I would get some of these emails, and I thought they were just trying to fucking like, oh yeah, we think you're a good fit. I was like, you just fucking around with me?
Yeah,
I'm a very, because I'm not used to that stuff, so I'm already on the defense.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I'm right.
Yeah. So one thing I've learned to do 100% is always be on the offense, like be aggressive. So when they're like, hey, like we think you're a great fit, and then I'll respond, why do you think I'm a great fit? Like I always go on the offense. I'm like, they're like, oh, we love your content. Which one do you like? You know, so I always go back to them, because that's the first way you can filter out if they're really liking you, or they're just doing mass spam emails trying to get whatever clients that they can. So the ones that actually do like you, the first email, they'll write something personal that's not copy paste. Like, oh, hey, like I really like the video you posted last week about this and this. It's like, oh shit, thank you. Even though they might have just done research for that 5 seconds to copy and paste into that email, it still shows that they at least put that effort in. Meaning when they actually pitch for you, do any other business things, that's how much little bit more work that they're willing to do for you, which
will help.
Exactly. It shows so much on their end about like how much they're willing to work for you and get to know you as a person, because they're not just wanting you as a client, they want you, you know. So that's the most important thing. Shit. Yeah. So definitely I get so many emails that are like, hey Young, are you signed with someone? Sign with us. Click this link for an appointment. I'm like, no. I literally respond with no, so that they'll stop emailing me and stuff like that.
You just know, period?
Yeah, just no, period. I don't say anything like that. Because I want these agencies to learn too, like you can't approach people that way, and we're not just like your cash money, like your cash cow, you know. Like we're actual people who need help too. Like we need help on the business side. We're not just here to make you money. We're here to help each other out, you know. Because at the end of the day, we're making the content. You're helping with managing basically everything. That's why you're in an agency, so we can benefit from each other, you know. So yeah, but you really need to sign with an agency, like. You really do. I tell everyone that's the first thing. I'm like, oh, like, have you been getting consistent like offers and stuff like that? If yes, fucking sign with the agency, because it will help so much. And all the things that you're thinking about, like, oh, like, I wonder if I'll get any work like next week, or if any sponsor deals, or like, can I scale this more? The agency will help you with that. So you don't have to think about any of that. They'll scale for you, because the more money you make, the more money they make. Oh. Yeah. So that's why it's a complete everlasting circle. It's like they're kind of like a parasite, but a helpful parasite, you know?
Like Venom.
Exactly.
Like a symbiote.
Symbiote. There we go. Perfect symbiotic relationship. So sign with the agency. You
Okay.
really need to.
I know. I do, huh?
It's crazy. It's been so long and you don't have an agency. That's kind of crazy. I've been through 3 agencies and 6 managers.
Really? I've never had even one manager. But everybody's always asking me, "Oh, do you have a manager?" And I just tell them I just do everything on my own. Which, like I just said earlier, I'm getting so fucking busy. It's hard to like I get emails and I'm like I don't even fucking check them sometimes.
It is impressive though. A lot of agencies do like that because you at least have a basic understanding of business. So that's why when it comes to like my negotiations or core communication with like my agency or manager at the time with other brands, I have a huge input because I understand. They're like, "Oh, Young, if we take like for instance like when it comes to like terms and like the rates, a lot of things are like itemized. So it's like, oh, if you don't use like, so they're like, oh, we want you to shoot at like a hotel. And it's like, well, you have to pay for that. And then like a little bit more because I have to drive there and stuff. So everything's like itemized, all the small things. If you guys want me to use my phone, it's this price. If you guys want me to use my camera, it's this price. Everything is very itemized. So because I have a better understanding of that, I can have a much stronger opinion in negotiations and rates and overall terms of like the quality and type of content I want to make with that brand. As opposed to someone who doesn't have the core understanding, you literally leave it in the hands of your manager. And if you didn't like how your manager negotiated the terms of the campaign, the type of content, the guidelines, you're kind of screwed because you just didn't know. So it's kind of good that you kind of do everything on your own, at least in the beginning. So you have an understanding of everything. So once you sign with an agency, they're not going to look at you as like, oh, you're just like a dumb piece. Like you're just a dumb piece of shit. You know? Yeah. So that's why it's good. I tell everyone, learn as much as you can. And once it gets too like overwhelming, and then there's always a certain point where you're like, I need help. That's when you should just sign right away. Like everyone has that enlightenment period. Like, fuck, I need help now. Cause it just gets overwhelming. Like you just don't want to make content. I tell everyone all the time, like the second you don't want to make content is probably because you're burnt out because you need help in some other aspect of social media. So yeah.
Damn.
Long story short, just sign with the agency and you'll make that money. Make that money.
I make that money. But I need the water. Let me get the water.
Yeah, definitely. I tell everyone at the end of the day, you know, social media, sure, it's fun, but it's a job. We're here to make money. So, you know, a lot of people, like, I ask them, like, why do you want to social media? And, like, for me, whenever agencies ask me that, I'm like, okay, number one is that I want to make money. Like, I'm not going to fucking bullshit. Like, that's the whole point of this, you know. I want to make money. I want to grow. I want to see where this goes. A lot of people, they tiptoe, they're like, oh, I want to help people be better. I want to like make the world a better
I used
place.
to be like that.
I'm like, ugh. I mean, it's very good to have that as like the core mentality, but money helps fuel everything, you know. So it's kind of like you need to make money first to actually do something impactful, especially in the social media space. Like you can't expect to be impactful without any marketing, without a team, without anything like relevant, you know. So it's kind of difficult. So you just got to make money at this point.
Yeah, that's what I learned. And that's how I feel now. Versus for a very long time, I was just, oh, it's just the passion. Because if I do it for money, it's gonna ruin the soul that I put into it. Blah, blah. But let's be real here. That is the ultimate goal at the end of the day. And I already went through that whole process of like, yeah, I still do it because I care about it and I want to help people and it's entertainment. I like entertaining, but how am I going to entertain if I'm sleeping on a cardboard box?
Exactly.
Right. And I can get better equipment.
Exactly.
Right? I can put out even more content if I have money to hire an editor, blah, blah, all that shit, right?
That's why it's like, in the beginning, I was totally like that too. You know, I was like, I want to make skincare content to help people because it's like most people don't know all this knowledge that I know. They have to go to dermatologists or an esthetician to even get like a consultation. But even for that, you have to pay a fee. So I was like, I want to make content that's free out there for people. But I kept doing it like for free. And I was like, I can't work a 9-to-5 job and then come home after commuting total 3 hours from here to downtown LA and back to PV.
It's so fucking...
It's
the
so...
traffic?
It's
oh my God.
insane.
Yeah.
And then so when I come home, it's already 7:30, 8 p.m. And then I have to film and edit videos, which takes me at least 3-4 hours. I didn't even eat yet. And that's when I wasn't even going to the gym. So it's like, how am I supposed to cram even like 45 minutes of gym time? It was just impossible. So I was like, everything just has to make sense. And then around like year 2 or 3 is when I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to like be more serious on like the social media side, like whole content creation, and not so sacrificially give so much of my energy to like companies, like to like the 9 to 5 companies I was working for, because I was like, there's only so much you can climb in a 9 to 5, you know, at a certain rate. But social media, I realized like people all around me, they're like scaling their business so well. They were pitching, they're going to all these events, they're being keynote speakers. I'm like, holy shit, like that's what I want to do, but I can't do it if I just keep making free content for people and spending majority of my time in my life working for a company, you know? So that's when I was just like, fuck it, need to make money. And sure, a lot of people are like, Young, that means you're a sellout. I'm not a sellout. A lot of the sponsored stuff I've been talking about for years, like the beginning, or it's things that I really, it's like tried and true and trust. Like I've definitely recommended to a lot of people. But for the most part, it's like there's still that stigma, because like 4 or 5 years ago, there's a huge influx of like all these like bullshit beauty creators that like basically sold out. They like made content for any company for any amount of money. So no one believed anything. So starting like a year and a half ago, basically when like quarantine started, TikTok blew up. That's when it's like it slowly started, like people started slowly trusting us again. But the damage is done. They're like, we don't oh, this is an ad. Bro, get your bag, get your money. It's like, no, but I really like this product. Like, I really want to share this with you guys, but people just don't believe it because of all that trauma that happened with other creators. So at the end of the day, it's like a good balance of like how much authentic content can I put out while still making money without feeling like a sellout, but still striving to make money to do something better for the community as a whole. Because, I mean, of course, like the money's for me first and then for the community second, you know? But yeah, it's just a really hard balance at the end of the day.
I like your stuff because your stuff stands out because you're not trying to be like cool or like, hey, I'm here, right?
Exactly.
Like you're I can tell you're having fun with it. You do it the way you want to fucking do it. You don't care if somebody's going to judge you or not. Like you're just whoever you want to be. And that's what stands out to me. And I think that's where a lot of the freedom and the peace of mind comes from for you, right? Because when we feel like we have to do it for everybody else, or we have to act a certain way based off of how people think we're supposed to be because they're like our quote unquote fan or whatever the fuck it is,
yeah,
we lose ourselves, and then we get that burnout due to the misery of identity crisis. Right?
That's why TikTok was so refreshing for me, because before TikTok, I used to make videos all the time on Instagram, but at that time, videos were not optimized. It was like it was so still photo focused, but I wasn't like that. I just suck at taking photos. No matter how much I try, I suck at taking photos. But so I kept making videos, but then I started creating videos, like I said, like catered for the audience. And that's when I was just like, oh, this is so like tiring, whatever. And then I randomly saw that there was an app called TikTok, and like all these people were saying, oh, it's an app for kids and they're just dancers and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, let me just post my videos on there. And TikTok, the videos I'm making on TikTok at the time were separate from Instagram. So Instagram, I kept making Instagram videos that are more educational. 1, 2, 3, this is how you get great skin, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then on TikTok, it was just like, here's my face, I fucking slap it. This is how I pump my skin. You know, I did crazy shit. And that felt way more authentic. And then the content blew up on there. I used to try to make that type of TikTok, like my energy type of content on Instagram, but it never worked. Just people didn't like it because just the audience was either wasn't there or it's just people didn't vibe with that. But on TikTok it worked, and I was so thankful because that type of crazy energy, like myself videos, was the type of videos I wanted to make since the beginning. But I had to keep making all these stereotypical skincare videos because that's what the audience wanted, you know? So that's why when TikTok exploded, I was so thankful because I got to keep making the videos I wanted to make, and I'm having so much fun with it. But it sucks at the same time because I feel like I started at the right time with the timing, so I blew up and everything, and I had the momentum already, huge momentum. So I could technically do whatever content I want. But nowadays, it's like, it's reverted back. It's basically like normalized again, where skincare brands and the audience, they want to see a specific type of content, especially for the beauty community. They want to see that luxury beauty, I'm so cool, Fabio kind of like content, you know? But it's like, I didn't have to do that because I started with this crazy energy, so people like vibe with me for that. But for everyone else, it's kind of difficult to latch onto that because either the timing is off or that's just not the core audience anymore. So it's just really, I guess, sad for the newer generation of content creators, because I want everyone to create content that they want to make, but it's like sometimes the brands don't want that because that's just not the moneymaker. It's not family friendly for whatever reason, or it's just not content that the audience resonates with. So it's kind of very difficult for everyone. But once you have that momentum, if you already have that following, you can change to whatever the hell you want and everyone will still follow you. It's because you already have that core audience. So that's why for me, it's like I used to make content all that weird way, but then now it's like I'm taking more of like a roasting perspective. I roast so many other like content creators just for fun, but it's because I can. If someone else did that, they would be shunned. They would be canceled by all these brands and stuff, which kind of sucks. Is what if someone wants to make entertaining content like that? Like they can't in the skincare space, but I can because I just so happen to have this following, which sucks, you know? So it's so conflicting back and forth for everyone.
Like the number of the following or also the fact that you started it with on TikTok of you already having that, hey, I'm like this fun guy. So they take it less seriously if you were to roast.
You know what? I never thought about that. Because for me, like, most people know me for the education skincare content first, even on TikTok, and then like the entertainment portion afterwards. So it's kind of like now I actually, since 3 months ago, I actually switched it completely because I was getting everyone is doing the same fucking content for skincare. I was like so tired of it. So now I'm purely doing like comedic kind of entertaining stuff. Like I just want to roast people. Yeah. But a lot of brands, like they don't like that. They don't like it. They're like, yo, like what happened to your other educational content? We like that. We like that, the normal 1, 2, 3 style. So every now and then, of course, I'll do it because I like the brand or I have a long relationship with them. And you know, at the same time, I need to get fucking money. But for the most part, it's like, most brands are still willing to work with me because they know like I'm just doing that for fun and entertainment. But it's because I built that relationship, because I have this following. If I were someone with only like 1,000 followers and I made that kind of content, no one would approach me. I guarantee that. No agencies want to look at me, no nothing. So yeah, but I never really thought about that, like whether it's because like I started like that kind of and then I switched into it. But at the end of the day, I still do think it's because of my following that I can kind of do anything, which gives me a lot more leeway and more flexibility of how I want to make my content. Because it's kind of like, regardless of whatever I do, it's still going to do like relatively well. So brands are looking at that. They're like, oh, like whatever Young does, it does well. It does
TikTok, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because my content's all over the fucking place. I do the podcasting. Sometimes I do like a skit. Sometimes I post up like a stand-up comedy clip. Or sometimes I'll tell like a story or just whatever. I kind of everywhere. And actually today, somebody DM'd me who we both know, and he was basically saying, "Hey, maybe it's time to like get like niche it up just a little bit because it's hard for people to like know how to love you." Because I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Because I'm not sure.
I mean,
because I'm doing what I want to do. I don't know.
In your case, everything you're doing blends together. It's still one cohesive like thing, you know. But if it's, for instance, like a streamer, for instance, like gamer streamers, some of the content they make is all over the place. Really, like sometimes they'll do like a reaction video. Sometimes they'll do like a highlight of like a certain amount of kills that they got in a game, and they'll show like their food that they ate or their cat. That's random. That's when they should start narrowing down. Like you say you're a streamer and your content is for like streamer type of content, but it's so all over the place. It can just be like literally anybody. Like anyone can make content like that, you know? But in your case, I feel like it's so cohesive. Like everything matches. Like I've never seen an issue. Like when you see one of your videos, you can kind of tell, okay, he is Mike Kim, like this is the type of content he's making.
Oh, like I'm being me.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to watch every single one of your videos to get an understanding of like what type of content you're making. You watch one of it, you get it, because every single video is funny. So that's the most important part. So it's like, oh, okay, he's a funny guy. So if I want to know more about him, then I'll go into your bio and stuff like that and look more into it. I'll watch all of your other videos. But in your case, you definitely don't have to niche up. I really don't think you need to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because overall, it's a good balance, and it's not like you're doing complete random things. You're not doing like a random fucking like mukbang out of nowhere, you know. So
I did try those before too, but I don't really stick to that. But so you're saying you see it as like it's within the I guess the common denominator. It is comedy, but still me.
Exactly.
Which is what I am trying to do. I'm just trying to put the most authentic version of me on social media, regardless of if it's the stage stuff or whatever the fuck else, podcasts, everything.
So that's why it's important. That's why it's so great that you have that. Most people struggle so much to try to see like, what is my cohesive content that I can make? Like, because no one wants to make just one type of content all the time. They want to make several, you know? But the fact that you can do so many things, but it's still technically one cohesive type of content, you've basically figured out like 90% of the content. You just have to make it now, you know? You just have to keep making more content so that people see it. Yeah, but for the most part, everyone knows it's more about like frequency. It's more about like how often you post rather than like how good the post is. That's just how it changed. Instagram used to be like quality, but now it's quantity again.
Quantity.
So, yeah, because Instagram's algorithm is getting, in my opinion, it's very similar to TikTok's algorithm at this point. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Well, you used to like posting like at least every day, every other day.
I post only like 5 times a week now. I used to post 3 times a day, but then that was just way too overwhelming. But it did work. I tell a lot of people in the beginning, you want to keep pumping out that content because if a video did hit, they want to see all this other type of content that you have. If you only have like 4 videos, then it's kind of like, well, they have nothing to really come back to.
True.
You just feel like, oh, you're just popular for that one video. That's it. So you want to make sure you have like a good running amount of like videos. And then on top of that, that will give you that much more chance to be on the algorithm or whatever because you have so many videos. You're posting your short form content on YouTube Shorts too, right? You have to do it now, man. You have to. The timing is now. Well, the timing was technically November of last year, but the timing is still now.
It's still good?
Yeah, it's still hella good.
Because the only reason why I haven't is because I felt like the people that follow me on YouTube are like, what is this?
No.
1 minute.
So that's why YouTube is going to be the most powerful platform because they have everything from short format and long format on one platform. And they have like a Twitter-ish type of thing. They have like a Discord-ish type of thing. They have a Twitch-ish type of thing. YouTube is going to be the most powerful platform once everyone starts realizing that because you can automatically be monetized with just your shorts. With like TikTok and Instagram, you have to be in part of this program, all these requirements. I mean, YouTube has requirements too, but it gives you that flexibility of the huge audience that YouTube has. YouTube is worldwide. TikTok is technically like, you know, like North America, a little bit of Europe, a little bit here and there. But for the most part, the moneymaker for TikTok is technically, oh my God, what's it called? I forgot what the Chinese TikTok was called. But like they're like the core. That's what the real TikTok is. They're like 1 billion users for their TikTok, as opposed to us is like a couple 100 million, you know.
Oh, I know what you mean. You're talking about. Yeah, I forgot
like,
the name, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Oh, Douyin. Yeah, so Douyin is like the China. Well, they're the grandfather of TikTok. Like TikTok came from Douyin, so that's why it's kind of like every step of the way, YouTube has the core audience now. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to get on.
So you're just basically saying I need to post on just YouTube Shorts and not give a fuck?
Yeah, YouTube Shorts, even with your oldest video, just start posting it. And what's great is you can schedule it. That's what I love about YouTube Shorts. You can schedule it. So what I started doing is I started posting 3 of my old videos per day. Because eventually you want to hit the algorithm. And it works. I know so many creators. I'm not even fucking kidding you. So many, especially food content creators, they only post shorts and they're already at like 500,000.
What the fuck?
I'm not even kidding.
Like 3 a day?
Yeah, like 3 a day. And some of them hit like 100K in like 3 weeks. From only YouTube. They didn't even put out one long format video. Just YouTube Shorts. That's why YouTube Shorts timing is now. It's like, if you want to hop on that bandwagon, the time is now. Like, you know how before getting 100K subs was like difficult? Now whoever gets the silver play button is kind of like a joke. They're like, oh, that's like entryway of like welcome to YouTube, which is crazy. 100K for even 1,000 for anyone is insane. 10K is like, bro, you made it. 100K is like, fuck, you are making it big time. But for everyone now who has been a part of YouTube, they're like, dude, 100K is nothing. They're like, once you get your silver play button, then we'll acknowledge you as like, oh, you're someone on YouTube. You're not a YouTuber. You're just someone on YouTube.
Okay. So literally, the algorithm will kick in as long as I just post like every day.
Hopefully. There's a much higher chance, just like how it was with TikTok, like at that time, there's a much higher chance for YouTube Shorts now. So that's why I tell people like technology, all these social media platforms, they're constantly changing faster and faster and faster. Like look at the transition between like TikTok to Instagram Reels. It was only like a few months. And then YouTube Shorts was already in the works for like a while. And then so everyone's just jumping ship, or if you're smart, you'll just cross-platform post. You just make one content is for 3 platforms. It's perfect. You're just spreading your seed everywhere. So it's kind of like very easy to... It's just increasing your odds of hitting on the algorithm and just making it. Because every platform has its own audience, which means you're spreading it everywhere. So it's totally worth it. And it doesn't hurt. If you already made one video for like a TikTok, it's going to be the same for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. You don't have to change anything at all. You just post it, you know?
Yeah, but it sucks that the whole like watermark removal app from that would take off the TikTok thing, like that one doesn't work anymore.
Oh, you don't know the trick, huh? There's so you go into your account and privacy.
Yeah.
And you can request to download all of your TikTok videos in HD without the watermark and how you edited it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes like 4 or 5 days for them to like send it to you, but they'll send you all of it like in one zip file. You just extract it. And then that's what everyone did. Because some people posted like 300 TikToks by now, and they just requested the videos, and they're just reposting that on YouTube Shorts and stuff. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, I don't know why people pay for I don't know why people pay for those apps that like remove the TikTok like watermark stuff. It's like it's free if you just ask them for it. Yeah,
I'm writing that down real quick.
Yeah, dude.
I completely forgot. Fucking thing.
This is the future, man.
The future of it all.
So that's why I'm kind of worried, like what the next platform is, because it could be anything. Like right now, it's like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok has like the powerhouse, like they're like the big 3, but you never know what the next one's gonna be. Like the next one for sure is gonna be something VR related. That's gonna be big, but it still could take about at least like 4 or 5 years until it gets to that point. But it's gonna be slowly integrated.
It's crazy because like I have such a hard time imagining another social media platform entering, because it's, you know, with YouTube, Instagram, and then TikTok coming out of nowhere. But TikTok is like so huge now. But then I mean, I would have said the same thing before TikTok came.
Exactly, yeah. Because I never would have thought that there would be a platform that's more video heavy, more short format video heavy especially. But, you know, things change all the time. And like, I truly think that like live streaming is going to be the next thing. Just no one's come out with it effectively, other than Twitch to a certain extent. But Twitch is kind of like wishy-washy. Like, everyone agrees. Everyone, offline TV, Pokimane, Tyler One, they all agree. You don't grow your Twitch stream from Twitch alone. You funnel from every other platform and you tell them, go watch my Twitch. And then that's how you grow your Twitch. So, but I feel like that's like the next thing, like actually like talking with the creator or the streamer like one-on-one. I think that's going to be the next thing, because people, especially with all this quarantine and social distancing, people like want that connection. They want to talk with someone, you know.
True.
And that's why a lot of smaller streamers have blown up, because at the end of, like all these big streamers, like they can't read the chat. Like it's too fast. You have to donate. Yeah, like you have to donate like $5 or something to basically get their message on your screen, you know. So that's why like a lot of these smaller Twitch streamers have blown up, because they actually respond to you, they communicate with you, and people really like that. So I think that's gonna be the next big thing. It's just there isn't a right platform to do it. Like Twitch has so many great things about it. There's so many bad things too. YouTube Live, so many good things, but they're lacking so many things that people who do Twitch want on YouTube Live. Like YouTube Live, you can't really do that much engagement type of things. That I mean, I wish you can, because the algorithm is there for YouTube Live too, because the audience is all there. But yeah, I'm just waiting to see like a streaming platform that like does it all. Does it right. Yeah, does it right. And that's going to be the one that's like everyone's going to switch to, You know, at the time it was supposed to be Mixer, but then Mixer fucking failed. That was like a terrible streaming platform. But some platform is gonna make it with the streaming thing, and then that's gonna be the next big thing. It's like making like clips from your stream and then just posting it on your other socials.
And that would make it so much more easier than having to always think of like. That's why I haven't been really making skits anymore. Because, dude, I had to come up with skits. So many fucking skits. I'm just like. It wasn't even fun anymore, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot for like 30 seconds, you know, and like for the chance that it might do well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But in the streamer category, like there's a lot of like niche streamer platforms. Like there's this one platform called like Newness. They're specifically beauty related, but it's kind of like. No one's only gonna watch just for beauty. Like that's just like watching QVC or something. You know?
That's fucking
like
good
it's like I'd rather just watch an actual video of someone who prepared topics and talking about it concisely in one video. Because skincare, you can only talk about so much. You know, it's just like just wash your face, eat well, you're great. So niche streamer platforms like that, I don't think will do well. It has to be something like overall general, like YouTube Live or Twitch. But we'll just have to see. I'm hoping for the right platform to come out because I'm gonna hop on. I love streaming, but it's just I don't know. Streaming platforms nowadays just aren't that good.
Yeah, because I feel like you'd be great at that.
Like I love doing it, and it does take up a lot of time, but at the same time, I do love doing it. I love that high energy. I'm like sweating like crazy during my streams, you know. And the only way for me to calm down is if I finally play a game. They're like, "Young, calm the fuck down. Go play Valorant or something. Just chill, bro." I'm like, "Okay, you're right. Wipe my sweat, drink my water, play a game." And then once I finish the game, then I go back into my whole topic rants and stuff like that, you know. So
just like mainly PC games. That's your thing.
Yeah, like PC games, or I just do a lot of stupid shit like to my face on stream. Yeah,
like squirt mustard or something.
Well, like I guess the last crazy thing I did on stream was doing like 100 sheet masks on my face. Yeah, I think that was like the most crazy thing I did. But recently, like when I had this fatty pimple, like it's like scarred.
Fatty pimple, my ass.
To me, it's fatty pimple. To me, it's
for you.
Yeah. Like I showed them like my way of like taking care of a pimple, but it's like I wouldn't recommend anyone to do it my way because I just know, because I know my skin, how my skin reacts. I know the products very well. But so like I'll like show it on stream and stuff like that. Yeah, so I just like doing intense stuff like that, or like unboxings, because I get almost like 10-12 PRs like per day, like boxes.
Wow.
So I just kind of stock it up and then I wait for a streaming day and then I'll unbox it. Brands get really mad at me. They're like, "Young, we sent that shit out last week." I'm like, "I know, but I don't want to open it because it's so overwhelming." And the hardest part is like breaking down the cardboard boxes. I have to recycle that shit. Do you know how tiring that is?
No, I get angry over one box.
Exactly.
In that trash can, the dumpster outside, I get fucking pissed. Like they say you gotta collapse it, and then
that's why it's hard.
Dude, I'll be out there, and then if nobody's around, I'll be like, "Okay, I can just throw this uncollapsed box." But then right around the corner, somebody like walks by, and I'm like, throw it on the ground, stomp it out. And I do. No, but 90% of the time I do collapse it. But it's annoying.
It is. It's annoying, and sometimes they have like peanuts or the fluff inside. And I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to do with that, you know. So it's just a drag. It's a hassle.
You ever feel like eating those little peanut things? Because every time I see it, it looks like candy.
Okay, so I will. Oh my god! So they have biodegradable peanuts that like basically melt in water. Like you rinse it with water and it just melts completely.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, oh hey, what if I just eat it? So on stream, like I ate one. It doesn't taste bad at all. It just tastes like really stale, non-seasoned, non-salted potato chips. Like very stale. So it tastes fine. Huh. But I ate a second one, and then after a while on stream, I was like, it felt like my stomach was bubbling and my mouth was actually like foaming.
What?
I wasn't even doing anything, but I think it's like the little particles or whatever is like dissolving in my mouth. So my mouth kept foaming. So on stream, I will talk to them and they'll spit on accident like foam. I'll be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" I'm constantly foaming. So I would rinse my mouth a lot, or like I was stupid. I should have rinsed and spit it out, but I would get drinking water, I'd rinse my mouth and I would just swallow it. But it made my stomach feel even weirder. And the entire stream, I was like, "Guys, I don't feel good." And I started like dry heaving on stream. They're like, "Young, you should go to the doctor or something." But I didn't. I just kind of, stuck through it. But yeah, it is edible. It's just, I don't know how much of it you want to eat.
Technically, a lot of things are edible.
That's true.
Doesn't mean we should eat them. But speaking of that,
amen to that.
Amen to that. Speaking of that, this is the thing we have to talk about. we need to talk about weird food combinations. Because you are notoriously known for that. one being watermelon and mustard.
Yes. Everyone can now refer to me as MTV award-winning YAYAYAYOUNG. Thank you so much.
Because Lizzo.
Thank you, Lizzo, for putting me on the map. Seriously. Yeah. Without Lizzo, I mean, the whole watermelon mustard, it went viral in the first place, but then Lizzo made it even more. She made it like globally viral, you know? Wow. That's when all these YouTubers were like stitching me in their videos. They're like putting me, all these celebrities are doing with the whole like watermelon mustard. It just kind of sucks that no one knows it's me. Everyone thinks it's Lizzo. Yeah, everyone thinks it's Lizzo. But that's fine for me. I'm okay. I'm okay with like piggybacking off of it. I'm okay, you know?
Hey,
like,
it's all right.
Exactly, you know?
You still
like,
get something.
Yeah, like everything that's there, it says Lizzo X YAYAYOUNG, which is fine, you know? At least my name is there, so I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, man. Watermelon mustard. I've been eating that since I was like elementary, middle school. So
so it wasn't like a fucking like you fucking around.
No. So here's the thing. All of my like yummy stuff. It's stuff that I've been eating like since forever. Really? Yeah. Most people think it's like something I come up with. Like people joke it's like a pregnancy craving. I'm like, no, I literally eat this stuff because it's like either, you know, my parents aren't home, so like I just have to put stuff together and eat it, or I'm bored of food, so I just mix something and just try it to see if it tastes good. So it's stuff that I've tried, that I've been eating, that I know is good. If there was a combination I didn't like, I don't post that because there's no point. That's just trying to get views and stuff like that. But everything like I eat. Yeah, I eat a lot of stuff like that I post.
Like, what is it? Was it the Melona bar and then sriracha?
No, gochujang and melona.
Gochujang.
Dude. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's so good. I have a huge like hate group against me in Korea, like legit.
Oh, like no joke.
Like there's a Facebook group that's like I can't read all of it. My Korean's not perfect, but like it's a group of like 800 people of like, we hate this guy.
Really?
Yeah. It was so funny because someone DM'd it to me. I'm like, oh, what the hell? It's like, dude, I have like an anti-group. That's kind of cool.
That's a big deal. No, that means you're doing something right. I wish I had an anti-Mike Kim group.
Exactly. I was so honored because I was like, they're not even in America. They're in Korea. I was like, oh, they must be super offended.
I know, right?
Like gochujang and melona, like, dude, they were so offended. But it's so good. Here's a big tip about anyone who wants to try my combos. Yeah. Start small. Everyone goes so big or go home. Like with watermelon mustard, most people don't know that flavor combo, but they still squirt it on like a mega load. Same thing with like gochujang melona. They put too much like gochujang on it. Just try a little bit first, and if you like it, then you can add more. Most people do too much, and it's too overwhelming. Especially people who don't like mustard in the first place. They add so much mustard, and it's like obviously you're not gonna like it. You have to put like a small little drop or dab. That's how I introduced it to people, and then they fall in love with it. Like everyone so far that I've shared these things with, they're like, Young, why are you not making videos about this? And then I finally did, like 3-4 months ago. That's when I started.
I'm gonna make reaction videos of me trying.
Dude, do
the
it.
Things you do.
I love watching everyone's like reaction videos or like trying it. It's so funny because it's like with food, you can't really bullshit it, especially if it's a response and you're not making the content. It's 100% authentic. It's their response. So it's like so fun to watch it.
Okay, well, melona and sriracha, or I mean gochujang.
Yeah.
Were you really that bored?
No, I wasn't bored. I just didn't have any tajin or chamoy at the time. So I was like, gochujang. Because I was such a kid. I was so young.
I see.
So that's why I was like, I have gochujang. It might be the same thing. So I did gochujang. I was like, it's not that bad. You know, so I just kept doing it. Sometimes I like sprinkled salt on it just to like try it out, see if it's different. Sometimes sometimes I poured on like lemon juice on it. I just experimented a lot. But for me, just plain melona gochujang is like the best combo. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I tried to make it like chamoy and stuff like that, but I realized like gochujang just doesn't taste like that. So yeah. So there's always a reason. It's not like I just did it, you know. It's because I really was hungry or bored, and there was a need for it. I needed it, you know.
Because from an outsider perspective, I'm just like, what the fuck?
It is weird, huh? It is very weird.
But now that we're talking like this, the getting the behind the scenes, the thought process of it, and the history of you with this experimentation, which it just shows that you're just naturally curious about trying to see if I put A and B together, what is C gonna be like?
Exactly. And like it kind of grew more and more because especially during like high school and like early college, I used to be like a wannabe gym rat. I used to always think about everything in like macronutrients, like how many carbs, fat, and like protein does it have.
God.
And I used to always eat like just boring food, like boiled chicken and like, you know, just regular sous vide steaks and just like it's just boring food all the time. Yeah. But then I started realizing like because I cook so often for myself, like I'm so bored of the food that I eat. Other people think like, Young, you're cooking so fucking great. I'm like, I know, but I've been eating it since forever. So I got so bored of all these normal foods. That's why I like just trying crazy things, which is like, it's not an excuse for me to make all these crazy combinations, and like definitely not an excuse for me to eat at like bougie places. Like I love like fine dining or like course menu stuff because it's so unique that it's like food ingredient combinations I would have never thought of, but they did it. So I was like, I'm okay with paying that premium to experience that. I know I'm still gonna be fucking hungry afterwards, but just for the experience and like, oh, I never thought about that. So it's kind of like that's why I keep doing these combinations to just keep my palate interested so I don't get bored of food. Because I think eating food is like so boring. I wish I didn't have to eat food, honestly. Like I think
about that too.
Seriously, like think about all
chewing. It's tiring.
The chewing is it's just my jaw's getting weaker, and then like 설거지, like freaking doing dishes.
Dude,
like
I know. Oh my God.
I hate doing it. It takes up so much of my day, and literally since quarantine, like 2020 to end of 2020, I only did DoorDash, and that's why I got so fucking fat. I gained like, dude. So I went from like 174 to like my peak 3 weeks ago before I started keto was 232. That's how much I gained.
Wait, you went from 174 to 232?
Yeah. And I have photos too, proof. So that's why it's like, no, so that's the main reason why I started doing keto. I was like, Young, you have to fucking do something. Nothing was fitting me anymore. I was like, you gotta start working. But I stopped working out because all the gyms closed and like I eat a lot. I eat a hell of a lot, but I have like I don't think it's eating disorder. I just don't know when to stop eating. Like if food is there, I don't want to leave anything or have leftovers. So I just force myself to eat it.
Until it's done.
Yeah, until it's done.
Well, is it probably just culture?
Yeah, race. I guess. No, I mean, I think culture definitely has a play in it because, you know, it's kind of rude if you leave it, you know, especially since there's one time with like church retreat with like aljumas and stuff like that. They had like a little thing. And then like I got like, you know, it's like self-serve buffet, like catering. I got food and then like I didn't finish all my japchae and they were like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. But no one eats all their fucking japchae.
Or especially they always, at the church, Korean churches, they always have the jajang pap or whatever.
Yeah, jajang pap. It's like, dude, there's only so much you can eat of that, you know?
After 3 bites, you're like, yo, I'm fucking tired of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes so like mundane and like, you know, you want something else. So, you know, it's just kind of ingrained in me that I just have to finish all my food. And then like what I would normally do is for DoorDash, I don't want to order twice. So I'll order like 2 meals, but I'll eat both those meals in one sitting. And then I'll be hungry for dinner. So I'll accidentally order again.
Even though you strategically got it
exactly,
for later.
Yeah. So that's why it started like adding on the pounds and my stomach got bigger and bigger. So then I would start ordering 3 meals. I'll be like, okay, I'll eat 2 for lunch and 1 for dinner. But I'll eat all 3 for lunch. So it just kept going on like that. And then,
shit.
Yeah, dude, my girlfriend gets so mad. She'll be like, Young, you're spending like 120 just on 1 day's worth of food. And I would do that like every fucking day for like almost a year, you know?
So you were stacking on the weight and stacking on the food debt.
Exactly.
The money debt of that.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I actually wrote the majority of it off as like business expense. Yeah. But it's kind of like, it's still a lot of calories that like I really regret. Because there was no satisfaction. All the food that I ordered did not taste good. I can't think of one food that I ordered that tasted good. I just ordered it because I knew I had to eat. That's why I just wish I didn't have to eat.
Dude, I love that we're talking about this because like I felt like I've been alone in this. Because when he kept saying food is boring, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then that's how I've been feeling. It sunk in like after talking. I don't remember most of the meals I eat.
Exactly.
Most of them aren't an experience. Most of them are, in fact, a hassle. Mm-hmm. You know, and I do it because I have to. Mm-hmm. And then you know, like when I was in my previous relationship, she got annoyed because I would always eat a lot of the same things because there's not a lot of things I actually like really enjoy.
Exactly.
So when I find something I enjoy, I'll eat it, especially going out. Because a lot of the other places I go to, even if it's like a 4.5 star Yelp, it's not accurate.
It's so individually based. It's like it's up to you, like
Yeah.
whether you think it's good. Yeah, like for me especially, like my girlfriend always complains whenever I choose the same restaurants, but I'm like, it's because like I enjoy that food, and like it's not that I don't think food is good. Like when I eat good food, I'm like, oh shit, this is good, but it's just not memorable, or it's not something that like sticks out to me. At the end of the day, after I'm finished eating, at the end of the meal, I'm like, oh, okay, I ate because I had to eat. I didn't choose this place to eat. I didn't come here because I want to enjoy the food. I came because, well, I know I'm going to be hungry. That might bother me later. And, I'm with someone, so I know they're hungry. They're a normal person. So they're going to have to eat like a normal person. So I'm just here to eat. I'm finished with my food. Great. Now I can carry on with my day. So that's why it's kind of like, for me, like intermittent fasting is a lot easier for me because I can push back eating as long as I want.
Me too.
But it's like at the end of the day, I still wish I didn't have to eat. Or I wish there was something that's like really quick to eat that has like my nutrients like already all fit. I'm not talking about like a shake or something, but I wish I was like, I don't know, just
like a snack bar.
Yeah, right. Just like something
with everything, like in the movies, what it's like alien snack or some shit.
Yeah, where something you just put a drop of water and just eat it or something, and it's just nutritiously like all balanced, But I just realized that realistically that's impossible. I mean, I know some people who do like extreme diets, but only because they're like super rich. Like they eat like just enough like macro wise, and then they get like IVs for like,
what?
They're a bougie level.
For
like,
nutrients?
Yeah, for like nutrients or like sodium electrolyte intake. Like they don't consume what they don't need to. Everything else, they'll just do IV.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But it's not like they have like it's not like they're in a sport or they have to make weight. They just do it because they're tired of doing that too. So instead of eating,
I see.
they'll eat something really small that just fits all their macros really quick, IV, and while they have the IV, they'll be doing their work. So like,
Dude,
makes sense.
While they're working?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's more efficient, and then they don't get the fatigue and like the brain fog from
exactly
eating.
Yeah. So that's the one big thing for me too. Like I get like pretty like gnarly, like I guess you can call it like food coma, where after I eat, I just don't want to do anything afterwards. And I fucking hate that because I know I have to eat, but I don't want to eat. But I have to do work. But it's just like a huge complex web of like, should I eat or should I not? But of course, the answer is always you have to eat.
Yeah, because then if you don't eat after a certain point, you're gonna get that hazy brain fog anyways. Because right. So no, I feel this. I feel the same way you do because I ate before you came here. I was thinking maybe I won't, but I ate right before you came here. And I had some leftover Chipotle, and it was kind of carb heavy, right? So all of a sudden, the fucking food coma started hitting while we were. It just went away maybe like 10 minutes ago, but I was dying.
I'm telling you,
to like focus.
It's
not
very
because I mean I was still like deep in our conversation, but the food coma was like pulling me down.
Exactly, and that happens so much, and like. I've been trying to figure out so many solutions to that, but the only solution I have is just either come up with crazy food combos to kind of get that slight excitement in eating, or just suck it up and just don't eat. Power through it. Just eat whatever you need to, So that's the main driving factor of me doing all those crazy food combos. Yeah, and like. I kid you not, like it's not only so I eat a lot of like bougie food. I don't remember them only because I have to, because I spent like $500 at this place. It's because it's actually memorable. Every like course menu place I went to, I remember every fucking food item.
Really?
It's because it's that, well, I mean, some plates I don't remember because they're like, oh, I could have just made this at home. That's most of them. I'm like, this is like a wonderful experience. I would have never thought about this combo. This tastes amazing. I learned something new. I can try making this at home. And that makes cooking, again, fun for me because I'm like, I have to keep on trying to recreate that taste, which 99% of the time I can't. But it's just fun doing that because it always tastes different because I'm experimenting and trying new things. So yeah, I just try to keep doing all these things to keep my palate enticed and, always like interested in like everything possible, because at the end of the day, eating food is such a drag.
It is.
It is such a drag.
It is. And then I'll be like, I'll just eat bad today, like a large chili fries and a big ass burger with all this $1,000 on it, because you know what? I gotta change it up a bit because I'm bored of eating healthy, and then I eat that, and I feel completely like shitty after. Like there is no where's the middle ground?
Exactly. That's the shitty part.
Get rich in IV.
Like, I mean, that's obviously the solution because they're doing completely fine like that. But it's like that's why it's so frustrating. There's no solution to it. There's no middle ground. You'll never find a balance. It's always gonna lean. You're unhappy, you're someone happy. You're unhappy, you're someone. It's just always back and forth. It's just absolutely frustrating unless you're baller and you're rich. And you grow your social media, you get that money, like everyone says, get that bag, and then food will be no problem because you have the IV drips. What's up?
Yeah, you just put it in there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, you know when you said you brought up your girlfriend, I remember when I saw on your Instagram story, you were like, guys, I'm not gay.
Okay, I do that every 3 months on purpose.
Oh, you have to?
I have to. So many people have a misconception about who I am as a person. They first of all think that I purposely shave my head. I do purposely shave my head, but it's because I'm balding, so I kind of have to. I don't want people to see like the bald patch spots, so that's the main reason why. I'm not just bald. I have hair too. Second, I'm not gay people. Even normal guys can love skincare. Now I know it's because like the mass stereotype is like LGBTQ like straight like gay guys are very into skincare and beauty. You rarely ever see a straight guy into skincare. Other than in Asia, where it's completely normal. So that's like one of the driving factors of like, I guess that's like one of my mission statements. I want to make it so like super accessible and understanding to like the masculine population that it's normal.
Normalize it for men.
Normalize it for men, definitely. So yeah, and then of course there's a lot of guys who hit me up. Try to slide through my DMs. I'm like, okay, I guess it's that time of month. I gotta post that reminder.
That's like your version of a period.
It is, dude.
That's your menstruation.
I'm like, oh god, this is
that's your straight menstruation.
All this stress coming. I'm starting to hurt. Okay, here we go. Let's post it. Because it gets overwhelming sometimes because I know they genuinely like my content when they first follow me, but because I don't respond to them or like reciprocate my like their flirting, they start getting so aggressive. They're like, oh fuck you motherfucker for not responding to me, I hope your dick gets chopped off. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo, just a week ago you said you love my content, you love me, like what happened? So that's why I do that. And then every time I post or give a reminder about who I am, my 1, 2, 3 is about YAYAYAYOUNG, I lose like at least like 500 to 1,000 followers, like every single time.
Wow.
Yeah, every single time.
Why do you think that is?
I don't specifically know. I mean, if I had to guess, it's just because people thought I was gay. So they like vibed with me or they were trying to hit on me. It's like one or the other. Because
they think they have a chance, which I mean, for my small following on Instagram, they follow me for that reason. Now, because I haven't really like grown in a minute. Well, I mean, I have this growth is super small, but when you have those like kind of like short bursts of growth, then all these new people come in. That's when you know, they follow because they think
exactly. They're like, "Oh shit, young looking kind of tasty." I'm like, no, okay, stay away from me.
I have a girlfriend. Speaking of, how long have you been together? Or I know you're pretty private about this, so if you ever feel like you don't want to talk,
no, it's okay. I mean, as long as I don't show her face.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
I never post any. Yeah, there's no thing like that.
We've been together for almost 5 years now.
That's a long time.
Yeah, almost 5 years. Is it 5 years? I think it's 5 years. Shout out whoever. But yeah, about 5. Yeah, about 5. Yeah. I think once it hits like next year sometime, it'll be 5 years.
Okay,
but
so she was with you before this whole blow up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so she was with me when I first started my social media stuff. Yeah, so she stuck with me like through thick and thin. I've been like so appreciative of like everything she's been doing because like even back then, like I still like. It was kind of like stupid and naive, but like I still like always think I was better than everyone at every job I worked at. So I would quit. I would be like,
you were better, so you'd quit.
Yeah. No, but it was true. So my entire sales team, I would do better. I would have a much better understanding of like skincare in general. The big issue about the skincare industry is like a lot of people who work, especially for the Korean companies, the people who have the jobs in the higher ups, they don't know the responsibilities or the industry. They're just there to manage because, you know, it's kind of like family friend hookup or like it's a family business, something like that. So it was always like, I can do a better job than you. You just have to let me do it for a little bit or at least help you. Let me write out everything for you and give it to you, propose to you, and then we can do so much better. But they don't want to do that. They're like, no, it's like a pride thing. So every job I went to, it felt like that. Whether or not I actually was better or not, I don't know. Who cares? But at this point, it's like every place I went to, it's like I would leave a job but not find a job ready. So there will always be like a hiatus. Whether it's like sometimes as short as like 1 week until my next job, or the longest was like 7 months from my next job, and that was like pretty intense. And like every now and then, like I would have at the time I had crazy credit card debt. I had like 26,000 credit card debt. Because of ex-girlfriend, like such a bad experience. But man. So I had a lot of credit card debt, a lot of bills. So my girlfriend would help me pay a lot.
Like dude, with my monthly. Your girlfriend is so nice.
Yeah, so that's why I like stick with her through like thick and thin. I'm so appreciative of everything. And now since like she's like, she spent her peak years with me. Her investment paid off quite well. So, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, really thankful that she was there for me throughout everything. So, and she's seen all of my growth, all my struggles, all my like me like crying and bitching at home, saying I'm self-diagnosed depressed and stuff like that. Like she's been with me through all of that. So super appreciative that I had that backbone, that like foundation to like really like rely on someone. In order for me to go through this journey. Because if I didn't have that like financial like backing from her, I would definitely not be able to be here. It's a really crazy story, but like we met at this one so we met at a this Korean skincare company, and then she's still working there. But right before social media blew up, like my social media blew up, I actually interviewed with them one more time because their sajangnim was like, hey, Young, like, we're actually willing to give you... And I actually left on bad terms with them. But they were like, Young, like, we know you're such a great worker. We know you can do great things for us. Like, it'd be great if we can have you back. And I had an interview with them, and everything was almost perfectly fine up until one email from one of their managers. It just turned me so off. I was like, wow, this company is still very stupid. Like, I was like, I cannot come back to this. And then my girlfriend at the same time was very glad because she was like, I think it'd be kind of weird if like we worked together again, because my personality is like very hyperactive. She's a very mellow person. She just wants to do her work, not be bothered by anyone. But I used to bother her all the time. And she told me after I quit, like she was like, I fucking hated that. I hated when you used to bother me. It was such a distraction, So after that like split, it was like a kind of like sign calling. That's when I went all in with social media in like late February, early March. And then just the timing hit and everything like that. So yeah, man, just the timing, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just a lot of luck and a lot of thankfulness to my girlfriend. I give a lot of thanks to her, definitely. Yeah.
He loves you very much, okay? He loves you.
But I will never say it to you. I'm just kidding. I say it all the time.
There's a reason why I haven't said it to you for 5 years, because I want you to appreciate when I finally do say it.
I appreciate her all the time. Yeah, definitely. I can 100% sure say like without her, like I would not be able to be here, because I would still be trying to, work at a restaurant 24/7, trying to make tip, just hustle for money rather than doing what I want to do. So yeah, it was good. It was solid. Everything works out at the end.
I think that's great too, because I used to hate when people would say dating is hard. I hated saying that. But then once I got into my 30s and then like started doing more whatever fuck I'm doing, it's pretty hard, man.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like, how do I say it? Like starting the date, like finding someone. That is the hard part. And for me, luckily, like my girlfriend just came to me. Like it was her first day working. I was like, oh my God, yes. It was just so lucky on my end. But when I talk to so many of my other friends, I'm like, holy shit, dating is so hard nowadays. I'm like, when they tell me their stories, I'm like, it sounds similar to how it was for me back then, but it still seems like 10 times harder, even more now. But I don't understand why it's so much harder. Is it because it's like people are more picky, or people are more superficial? They want to see more like money or fame or like your status. It's like, I don't understand like why it's so much harder.
I really think it's the social media thing mixed with the online dating stuff, because that blows up everybody's ego.
It does.
Especially, because like a lot of girls get hit on by a bunch of weird guys, and that also kind of shapes their reality and maybe makes their confidence way too high to an unhealthy level, right? Because even if it was a bunch like millions of girls hitting, because when I started popping off on TikTok with the confessions of former fuckboy, I had hundreds of women throwing themselves at me, and then it skewed my reality for a bit, and until that part died down because I don't make that type of content really anymore. But it's just, you know, like you're saying, it's tough to find the person that you mesh with and that you're willing to go through that whole fucking shit again.
Exactly.
It takes so much fucking time.
Yeah. A lot of people have told me, like, a lot of people, they find that first attraction, but then no matter how much they're willing to like commit or like struggle it for the long haul, like the other person just doesn't want to go through that in the first place because they have their own criteria of like, okay, well, so and so is worth it. Like maybe he checks off everything, so I'll go along with him or something. But it's kind of sad because, like, you know, like I feel like dating should be dating for the sake of just getting to know the person in the first place, which is why I felt like dating in like high school and college was a lot more fun because you're literally just friends with them. You're just getting to know them, but there's such like a seriousness to it, whether it's because of age or time, like, you know, but there's such a seriousness to it that like people take every aspect, every factor of like who you are into consideration. And it sucks because people start forgetting that we're human. Like, things change all the time, good or bad, you know, it's just who we are. But yeah, I would not want to date nowadays. Like, that seems so fucking stressful.
Yeah, it is. It is. I even told myself kind of like the food thing, like, oh, it'd be great if we didn't have to eat. I just told myself it'd be kind of nice if I was just asexual.
Right?
You know, because that's like a whole other part of me that, you know, the dating thing, everybody wants a companion, but then, you know, time, all that stuff, blah, blah, and then sex, whatever, all that stuff. And I'm just like, for what I want to do with my life, it would be kind of nice if I just turned into a sea cucumber.
Sea cucumber just laying and living there, you know?
Just living there, just I fucking reproduce with myself.
Exactly. You know?
I don't gotta do shit, man.
Trying to suck your own dick.
Oh yeah, exactly. Me trying to suck my dick. Me just getting just the tip of my, like,
Oh my
just
God.
Oh
my God.
there,
It's
man.
so funny because I swear so many people deny it, but I guarantee you every fucking guy has tried.
Every guy has tried.
Any guy who's denied it is fucking bullshitting, or you have some crazy thing you want to protect. But every guy has tried without a doubt.
And I know that. And that's why when some people were like, what the fuck? On TikTok, they were all like, they were being very honest. Like, yeah, we all did that shit.
Exactly.
Instagram, everybody, because Instagram is more of the superficial, let me just put on my best front. I'm like, I know you guys have.
I know you have.
That's why I'm not ashamed of that, because like, I know.
Yeah. It totally makes sense though, you know? It's a need to...
Well, suck your own dick.
I mean, it's just, it's just curiosity.
Curiosity,
you know?
as a kid, growing up, you know.
It's like, can I do it? Can I achieve it?
Yeah, can I? Because you gotta try.
Oh my God!
Don't just think and don't just plan. You have to try. That's what
you have to do.
You have to do.
You have to do.
That's what you fucking have to do. Okay. So Young. Before we end this,
yes.
What's something that you wish people knew about you or understood better about you, if there is a thing?
Nothing really. Like, for the most part, on my Instagram stories, the content I make, whatever you see there is who I am. Like, I don't fluff things up. I don't really change it. I guess, like, yeah, there's really nothing. I guess there's really nothing. Oh, I guess the one thing I want people to know, like, the most is, like, don't be afraid to, like, talk to me about anything. Like, I'm never, like, confrontational about something. I'm never, like, judgmental. Like, I'm always open ears first because I always love hearing about other people's opinion, which is kind of, like, why I like Joe Rogan's podcast, because he has all different types of people, even people that he, like, conflicts with hardcore in terms of beliefs and, like, ethics. But the fact that he at least listens to them first before, like, coming to some crazy conclusions and stuff. So yeah, just know that if anyone wants to DM me or talk to me, I'm not going to judge you for anything, you know? We're just here to have open conversation. It's good. Yeah.
Open, adult, mature motherfucking conversation, man.
Exactly. And then I'll judge you afterwards.
Yeah, he'll talk shit about you after. Okay, yeah, you want to plug in your socials, a website, whatever you got?
Yeah, everything's basically at YAYAYAYOUNG, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everything. For my food social media, it's YAYAYAYUMMY. It's 3 Yas, people, YAYAYA.
And then Young.
And then Young, or Yummy, whichever one. And soon to be Streams, Random, and Tech. So yeah,
Damn.
I'm gonna be sweating a lot now. But other than that, yeah, just stick with Young and Yummy for now. Yeah,
You heard it from the man himself, the not gay man. Because
not gay.
he has a
Okay.
girlfriend.
Now I don't have to put up my seasonal warning because we're gonna put it on this podcast.
It's on a podcast, all right?
Yeah.
But you can slip into the DM for other questions and whatnot.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, anyways, guys, this has been another episode of the Setbreaker Podcast. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.